All right, here we go. We are live. Oh, AC there.
Yep.
There we go. All right, welcome everybody to this month's episode of the Moby Berry Fightcast. I am MFC Stuckey,
I'm Ace Combat.
Ace Combat live via satellite, and Ace, it feels like I hadn't talked to you in like a year, although I forgot we actually saw each other, what, a week ago?
Last week. Yep. Time flies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long week. But how's everything been going?
It's going all right.
Well, about the same with me.
There's been a lot of good things going on, at least.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of fighting game stuff, at least. So.
Yeah, it seems to be a fighting game feast this year. All the stuff that's coming out.
This year, last year. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hmm.
This is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So, as we usually do, what's that?
What about you?
About the same. Working. Late doing this because work. This is the main reason why it's so hard for me to do anything, because anytime I try to plan something, work seems to have other plans.
Right.
I was almost late to the meetup at the tea place before, and I was late getting home today. So, but you got to pay the bills somehow, right?
Yep. It's also my motto, being late.
Well, yeah. Well,
kind of like how I was late on the phone call.
You rarely have an excuse. Yeah, we wouldn't have been so late if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Like, where did he go? I just talked to him.
I didn't write back until like 6:15. So you wrote me at like 5:45.
Which was fine, because it's been so long since I've done this. I felt like I totally forgot how to do it, so I was setting up stuff anyway. Jeez. So anyway, as we usually do, let's go over local events coming up soon, which there are not many this month that I could find, like not at all. The only one I found that I know of course, is the Hidden Power over at Gamers and Geeks in Mobile /4 Melee PM. So that's Saturday, May 19th. Gamers and Geeks 4805 Moffett Road in Mobile, Alabama. And I was hoping to talk about an event that would have been going on in Pascagoula Saturday, May 26th. Yeah. However.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Sounds like you got the old Comfort Inn treatment that we got.
Yep.
Here in Mobile. Oh yeah, everything sounds great. Everything's good. Yeah, no, we decided we didn't want to do it.
Yeah. But it's more like miscommunication on their part, or it's like they like misjudged their reading. That's a weird thing. It's like, yeah, you tell me the reservation was fine. What was it? That Friday prior?
Oh yeah.
And then so I was like, okay, probably be back Monday. It should be okay, and they should be aware of it. Like on Monday, the whole week of that was reserved by University of Florida, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, when was this? And I was told this was done like a long while ago.
Right.
So it's like either they didn't really check the reservation date at all, or it's like they looked at the wrong month.
Yeah, it could have been either or.
Yep, definitely the Comfort Inn treatment there.
Yeah.
Same thing for the Holiday Inn. That's the Comfort Inn treatment.
Yeah.
That one I didn't receive a call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Hampton Inn was the one I just had. It looked like a little reading miscommunication or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But it was the Holiday Inn Express that was just like, thanks but no thanks, without actually saying it.
Right.
That's what gets me. Just say no. It just leave me hanging like that.
you don't feel comfortable with little gaming events, you don't think that'd be suitable this place. You
Yeah,
could just
just
say
say
that.
it. Just say it up front too.
Mm.
So don't wait when I go back and money in hand, waiting to reserve the room and be like, oh yeah, no, this is what I'm talking about. What happened to me over there in Tillman's Corner, but so yeah, but besides hitting power, I couldn't find anything else going on Gulf Coast wise here or Florida or Mississippi. I know you brought up something going on like at the very northern tip of Mississippi.
Yes, so that one is the Adapt or Die Tournament 3, which is going to be held at South Haven, Mississippi, which is right on the border of Tennessee.
Yeah.
On the northwest side. So, yeah, if you're around that area for like maybe Jackson, Wilma Lake to drive, supposedly I hear Max is going, and he's from Arkansas. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, so that surprised me. So I guess that makes sense. Arkansas is kind of like nearby, because like on the left of Tennessee is like Arkansas, so it kind of makes sense, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you're around that area, check that out. Pretty started to do Street Fighter 5, AE, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and Tekken 7. That's the games that's gonna be planned to be host. Well, that's the currently hosted games.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And that's about it. And you mentioned Wayward Kraken, right?
Yeah, it's the ongoing and weekly stuff. So we got Mondays here in Mobile, the Nerdery League with down at Alchemy Tavern. They play different games all the time. I think they just played Smash last week, or was it something else? I know they played some fighting game recently because every time the rare times I go on Facebook and I'll see like they have an event or something, it's like it's always so late at night. It's like, dang, I go to work. Anyway, and then also on Mondays in Pensacola, O'Reilly's Downtown Throwdown at O'Reilly's Irish Pub. Wayward Weekly at the Wayward Kraken in Biloxi. We got the Nightmare in Mobile bi-weekly here in Mobile. I believe that should be this coming up Tuesday. If they didn't have one last Tuesday, it'll be this coming up Tuesday at Korabi Bubble Tea. And Secret Power on Thursdays over at Gamers and Geeks, where they play Smash and stuff. And I would like to at least start doing like the thing we did last week at Korabi. Like try to do that at least once a month going forward. So.
Hey, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, I was talking to him last time I was there, and it's like maybe try to do first Friday of the month. Don't hold me to that yet. We'll see, but I think that'd be fun though. So hopefully I can start next month. We'll add that to that, and but yeah, keep an eye out in the group. I'll always post if I ever do that again, which I will. I just don't know exactly when yet. I'll post it up in the group, so anybody in the group will get the invite, and they'll see it's happening and everything. And I don't know if you happen to look at the banner of the group and the and Facebook page, over the last hour or so, but something might have been posted on the banner there. Just saying.
What banner is this? I'm about to look at it.
So yeah, now I might be go ahead and get to
that banner.
Get to the topics there. So if anybody's watching live, don't know who anybody is, but you'll never know. Or if anybody's watching this on the archive, then you will see that we are actually doing an event June 24th, 23rd. Dang it. I don't know why I keep saying 24th. Solstice Showdown for the first time in 2 years. Yeah. Yeah, so we're doing Solstice Showdown again. It is actually going to take place at the Hampton Inn on I-65 Service Road. Was it just south of Airport Boulevard on the west side? We haven't quite decided what all games we're playing yet, but we know what's happening that day. It's time is probably going to be noon to 10. Yeah, that's pretty much all the information I got for you right now. But just to let everybody know, we're doing that event, and we got quite a few events lined up. Actually, not all here in Mobile, but things have opened up that allow me to at least try to have some time to do stuff like that. So I figured, you know what, screw it. It's going to be hard, but I want to do it. So we're doing that in June. That'll be the next event that we do. Just to list some other things that we're doing in July, we'll be going up to Meridian, Mississippi, to do to be a part of and stream Southern Discomfort.
Yep, Southern Discomfort 4.
Yeah, I think that's July 19th, if I'm not mistaken. Oh wait a minute here. Let me get my Fight Club calendar up on ye old phone here. I can tell you exactly when it's happening. Yeah. Oh, Mayhem Syndicate, May 26th. Rest in peace. So yeah, Solstice Showdown scheduled for Saturday, June 23rd. Then no, July 21st. Where am I getting these numbers from in my head? There's so much stuff just mixed up there.
July 21st is the Southern Discomfort 4 event, Saturday.
Yep, Saturday, July 21st. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. In August, we don't have anything scheduled yet. I'm actually working on a couple of things there, so stay tuned with that. And then, of course, September 29th. It's Red September. And we're already confirmed to be streaming that one again and everything, too. So those two big Mississippi things are still setting everything up. The only thing I know for sure is we're going to be there and we're going to be streaming it. So that's what we got there. Don't have anything for October yet, but I'd like to do something in October, too. Hopefully here in Mobile. Hopefully we'll do a fall brawl or something like that. But talking about local events, Baited was, 2 weeks ago? Over in Fort Walton.
What's that called?
Baited.
Oh, yeah, Baited.
Yeah,
yes.
Baited 2. And I was helping them TO that, and I also entered Street Fighter and came in third. Although I look back at the winner's final match now, and I actually could have won that had I tried. I just want to put this out there. I'm not trying to make an excuse or anything, but my blood sugar was incredibly low during winners and losers final match.
Ready, right?
Hey, but my hands were shaking. My whole body was shaking so hard doing that. Sometimes you get a little nerves or whatever, but I thought that's what it was at first. But then after the winners finals, when I realized, because I went to go stand up and started like to rock, like I was about to fall over, and I was like, oh crap. That's what's wrong with me. My blood sugar's low. And then I had to I still had to run that, and we were running another game at the same time too. So I'm running back and forth with from the computer, getting everybody's matches for the other game that was running, but we weren't streaming yet. And then I had to play losers final, which I ain't making no excuses about that. I was going to lose to that guy anyway. But yeah, it was a lot of fun though. That whole event was just great. It was just day to night, all day. What all we played? Windjammers and Tekken, Dragon Ball, Street Fighter, Smash 4, Smash Melee, Def Jam Fight for New York, which I forgot how fun that game is, and how
there's tournaments for that.
They did one up there that Friday night, and then we had it playing. Actually, if you look at the stream archive of it, like right behind where everybody was playing on stream, if you see folks sitting back there looking up at the wall, that's what they were playing behind us. And then later on that Saturday night, they had Capcom versus SNK2 in there, and I was so mad because I'm still running all the games on the in the downstairs of the bar, and all I want to do is sit down and play that game with everybody, but I couldn't. Uh, but um, but yeah, that was fun, and again, somehow I'm the third best Street Fighter player on the Mississippi Panhandle. Just doesn't make any sense to me. I know that doesn't mean anything to you over there in Mississippi. But every time I go over there, I feel like I'm actually good at Street Fighter. Then I play you, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Maybe for both like Mobile and the Gulf Coast, just Gulf Coast area, yeah, maybe it's a reasonable rank, I guess. Maybe.
Maybe. That's more like a fluke.
Still, it's golf claps.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, you know, I want some money. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Yeah, that's still good. Third place is still good. Just getting top 8 in general is
Yeah, and it wasn't like it wasn't like there wasn't a lot of good guys there. There was the one guy played in the winter semi, I believe. I had watched him play the night before. And when I realized I was fighting him, I was like, crap, this guy's going to just completely destroy me. But I guess he didn't know what to do with Abigail. He played with M. Bison. That's all I'd seen him use before that. But when he played me, he used Nikali. And when I beat him the first time, and I was totally expecting him to switch over to M. Bison, but he stuck with Nikali, and I almost wanted to turn around and look at him and ask, why didn't you switch? But I was like, no, okay. And, I beat him again. And by the time I finally got free, I was going to go find him and ask him why he didn't switch over. He was already gone, so. But,
gone.
Yeah, he left after that.
Like he stormed out of there?
No, I don't think he stormed out of there. Well, actually, something must have came up because he wasn't there for his match in Dragon Ball.
You maybe like had like a conflict in tournament he had to like go to, and he's probably focused on Dragon Ball maybe.
No, like I mean, I was running all those games, so he would have had to come through me either way. Yeah, it was Dragon Ball or Tekken. Might have been Tekken. It was Dragon Ball or Tekken he had already entered and paid for and then left. So, I don't know. He might have to go to work or something. But
yeah, might have been an emergency. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think they said they don't plan to do another one again until next year. So, next January when they did the first one. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's cool. That's done by the local FGC guys down there. They're the ones that do the weekly thing in Pensacola down in O'Reilly's. So that was their big event. So that was cool. But you should have came, dang it. Next time I'm gonna drag you down there. Period. Yeah, I don't care what exams you got or whatever. You're going. You're going to be MFC Ace Combat, and I'm going to get 50% of whatever you win.
Yeah, maybe you can proctor me during the exam when I'm there.
Yeah.
Here, you got this match? No. Go back to your exam.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Exactly.
Anything fissy.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm excited to be doing events again. Been buying games. You saw? Oh, I don't know if you saw all the stuff I bought since then. I'm up to 6 systems now, and
6 systems.
Yep. 6 systems, including a PS4 Pro. That's always going to be on the mainstream stream machine, so nobody's going to have any excuses anymore.
Have people been putting excuses late for PS4 Pro? I haven't seen Chris G complaining yet. I know he's bound to at some point.
And if he hasn't complained, nobody's going to.
Yeah, so.
No, there was something I was watching. I was sitting here doing work. I was watching some stream. I think it was last week actually. What was last week? Combo Breaker? No, Combo Breaker's
Combo Breaker's
26th.
the end of this month.
What was? Texas Showdown. Yeah, that's what I was watching.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it came up somewhere. I remember somebody brought up the fact that, the system on the stage wasn't a PS4 Pro, and it's like, what do you expect all these TOs to, shell out $400?
Who said this?
I can't remember. It was one of the commentators that was talking about another player, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm about to.
Or some players were talking about it or something like that. But it's like, dude, those things are $400. I mean, it's bad enough that TOs have to buy however many consoles because folks won't bring stuff themselves. But now you want them to shell out $400 a pop? No. The only reason I was able to get one for us is because I did so many dang tax returns this year. I had some extra money sitting around, and I found a good deal on one, brand new and everything. I got it for like $50 off with a bunch of extra stuff, and I was like, screw it, I'm going for it. Business made some money, I need to spend it. There we go. So, acquired some assets. So, but yeah, with 6 systems and 1 system for every monitor that we got, I'm probably going to get one more monitor too. At some point, at least one more monitor and some more audio stuff to get ready for out-of-town streaming for the big stuff. And then, hope folks show up so we can at least break even on these events that we do. Because, again, I've never actually made a penny. Wait, I take that back. I forgot. Last year, at crossing state lines, I forgot I owe you your cut. We made $5.
Woo.
Yep. So I got to get you your $250. Yeah, I got to get you your $250 one day. I keep forgetting to get you your 50% cut. So yeah,
after as much to drive as gas money.
Yeah, after all said and done, I had $5 in my hand, and I keep forgetting to give you your cut, sir. You will get it one day.
No, don't worry about it.
You don't want your $2.50.
You did a lot of work anyway, so I think that's fine.
You
can keep it.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Well, I'll do that.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't want to beg for money or nothing, which I'll never do. But I will remind folks that we do take donations and everything. Just saying us or whatever. So Stuck Dog says hello from Art Walk. That's where he is today. He would have been on the stream, but he's over holding up the finger, sipping on his champagne, watching fine art, and all that stuff over in Fairhope, I believe. So
never heard of the Art Walk.
Yeah, it's a thing. I've actually heard it's pretty cool. We have them in here in Mobile too, downtown, where I've never actually been to one. I almost went to one once, but then I had to go. I had to work. So, but it's pretty cool.
Springs apparently has one too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those random things that just comes up and they exist. But yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what the event's really mainly about though.
From my understanding, folks take the art and line it up, in a downtown area, and you walk it.
So do people sell these?
I presume so. Yeah. So it's like a big art festival just in a, enclosed area, and you kind of go through it, admire the art, buy stuff. What's that?
Do you even have to pay for vendor fees?
I don't know. That I don't know. Like I said, I'm about as familiar with it. I'm probably just a little more familiar with it than you are at this point. So anyway, let's get back on point here. The Dragon Ball Fighters patch came out.
Oh yeah, we can get on. I don't know what's to talk first, the patch notes or the DLC characters.
Oh, DLC characters. Well, the DLC characters. I was kind of expecting the DLC characters to come out with it, and I was surprised when they weren't there.
Yeah.
So, has there been any word where the DLC characters are? When they're coming
Nope.
out?
Nope.
It's like,
I
yeah,
don't
so
even think we talked about Bardock and Brawley.
pro-
But
probably not.
yeah, I mean, I guess we could do a quick summary. They're both good. Brawley's really slow.
Yeah.
But he seems like a. I don't know. I think out of all the characters, I mean, yeah, I am kind of like worried about the typical top tier characters too. They're scary to deal with, but I have trouble with Brawley a bit, but I think that's due to like character unfamiliarity. So if you don't know how to handle Brawley, yeah, Brawley can put a train wreck. Because yeah, if you don't know how to deal with like the command grab stuff with 5H and 5H and the command grab, that's the mix up. Yeah, it'll catch people a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I learned
Do you
that the
play
hard
Brawley?
way. Well, no, I hadn't even really touched either of the DLC characters before last week.
Oh yeah, you mentioned like you didn't really get to put much time.
No.
On yeah.
I mean, I really hadn't played the game since it came out.
Yeah.
To be honest, that first week I played it a lot, and then Texas.
Yeah.
so that was my first chance to really get a chance to play it like a lot, and of course I'm playing one of the better players from Pensacola down there, and he's just. I can tell he was trying to take it easy on me, and it wasn't even close. But he used Brawley, and I was kind of learning some stuff by getting hit from him constantly over and over and over and over and over again. One thing, it kind of seems like I was kind of disappointed in Brawley when I first saw him, because it's like he seems like he does the damage I was expecting him to do.
Yeah.
I know I saw one thing where, so apparently there's a glitch in the game. If you whiff the first hit of an auto combo, the second hit does more damage or something like that.
It's not really a glitch. It's just like it does the same amount of like hit scaling properties that a medium tech would do. So, and it seems universal for most of the cast. So it's not like a Brawley glitch. It's just something that's universal.
Well, yeah.
Second hits.
It's a universal thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not even something that's gonna be really common too.
Mm-hmm.
Unless like it's like a baited attack to whiff punish something. Like if you do like a delay L and then someone tries to whiff punish it, but it's like they're too far. Thinking you would do like a medium attack instead, then yeah, you could work with it that way. But like it's really nothing like that's gonna like, this is consistent. It's gonna work a lot of times. It's such a good thing to get out. It's gonna take a while to even get the second hit out to come out in the first place. So it's like
yeah. I just saw a video where a guy was showing that he can do like way more, like put like a hurting on you if he does that. But I remember watching that video thinking, well, I mean, how practical is that though?
Yeah,
to always miss the first hit.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. It's. I mean, even practicality concerns. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to get that going.
But yeah, he's pretty much what I was expecting him to be, big and slow with armored moves and everything. But
just expected more damage.
Yeah, he doesn't exactly hit like the Mack truck I was expecting. Especially if you've actually seen
he's just
him.
Like a presser king, like he's just really good at he's like a really good like offensive breaker wall, I guess, where it's kind of hard to get out of him.
Yeah, and
so I guess what?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like surprisingly technical too.
Yeah,
because it's almost as if he has moves to ensure that he can't keep you in a corner right where he wants you.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's like you work to get him in a corner, and then he's got moves that throws you out of the corner.
Yeah, it's like they expect you to use Vanis for every instant possible.
Yeah, and like he has like his normal level 1. It's like, he does the little lift part first, and then the throw. And unless you get hit by the lift, the fireball's going to miss or just get blocked because you know how slow it comes out and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I guess in my head I was expecting kind of the Abigail of the game, you know. And in some ways he is that, but in other ways he's not.
Yeah.
They make you really work, like I said, surprisingly technical for somebody that big and slow. So
yeah, that is weird.
yeah, I just found that odd.
Yeah.
But once
It's
you
not like
learn
an
what you're
Android
doing with
16.
him, you know he can still be pretty good. I don't think he's ever going to be like a top choice of any of the big competitive players out there.
Yeah, he feels really good early, but I think he might be gimmicky.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm theorizing that like Van's attack is like really good against him whenever he's doing what I'm supposing is the scary part of Brawly is when he's like up close to you and he's has a mix up of the 5H charge or command grab.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Vanis is fast and consistent to beat it in time. Unless maybe they probably have a Vegeta assist. I don't know. I haven't really looked too much into anti-Brawly stuff, but I mean I'm seeing things that he's really good at, like the whole oh wait, they nerfed that with the patch notes. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Well, maybe I can mention that now. He used to have an inescapable throw setups off a snapback.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard about that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So if you snap back with Brawly and you have enough meter, and I believe it depends on what you can be much more consistent on certain characters like DPs or whatever supers if you have a assist maybe, or no that wouldn't matter. Assists are there if they ban us, I believe. Yeah, if when you snap an opponent in, his air grab is so active that they can't do anything about it. Even if they backdash, they're gonna get catched by the throne. So it's mainly guaranteed, and it would be considered unblockable. But sometimes they'll vanish depending on when it's done. And I think what some people end up doing was they have like the Vegeta assist or something out at the same time. So if they try to vanish, they're gonna get hit by it, and they'll just combo afterwards, and then repeat the snapback setup and just continuously do it over and over. So, but that's gone in this new patch because they increased the backdash throw invincibility frames. So, I think that was an indirect nerf to that. I think they intentionally made that change just because of that. I believe.
I was about to say they might have did that specifically for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this patch was basically just a bug patch, just a bug fix. And
everyone was like expecting like even me. I was kind of expecting like a lot of like there were a lot of things that might have been changed because if they were going to change a lot about the Universal's mechanics too, this does sound like it would be really big.
Yeah.
And when the patch hit, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, they really only changed what 4 characters.
Yeah.
Vegeta's assist.
Vegeta's assist.
It's like short. Is it shorter now? Because it looks shorter.
It's the same. It's just the hit stun. No, not hit stun. Block stun.
The block stun is lower.
Less.
Less. Yeah.
So you can now super dash or reflect in between the Gatlin stream.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a good assist, but it's just not as locked down.
Yeah, it's nerfed on the lockdown side of things, but it's just about the same in every other category. So for combo potential, it's still the same. Yeah. For neutral zoning and stuff, that's the same. Only lockdown is the one that's okay. It's a little minor nerf, but even then, some people can see this as like a minor early buff into like a nerf over time once people get used to it. Mm-hmm. Where it's like now people might just end up abusing super dash every time because like, oh, I can do this, and they'll just do it intentionally.
Right.
But if the Vegeta user is aware of that, I mean, that's on their mind. It's gonna be like what 95% have 2H ready, so it's like a good bait option too.
Yeah.
So, but that's probably gonna wear down over time once people get used to it, and maybe just people will just probably prefer to reflect rather than just super das.
Let's see then.
And Bardock was someone we didn't get to talk about either.
Oh yeah.
Um,
No, you talk about a character who's gonna be used a lot in competitive play. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be one of all the DLC characters so far. Besides
Yeah.
Android 21, he's the one that
yeah.
yeah.
If Geo1 uses a character, then the person's top tier, and because he's using Bardock,
He's pretty
That's
good.
one way to quickly look at things. But
just what I've seen on streams and different YouTube videos and stuff. Yeah, he's got the goods.
Yep.
Like
a clothesline that's like a really good zoning tool. That's you can easily spark and convert or vanish convert. It's
bionic arm is what I call it, because that's pretty much what it is. Every time I see somebody use a bionic arm.
Oh yeah, bionic arm.
Bionic arm. Wait, assist. I'll do a different super and then bionic arm again. It's like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, you're talking about the super, right?
Huh?
You're talking about the super, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about his quarter circle forward punch, the one that he lunges forward, but it's not the super, but it's just.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because that one has like a lot of screen control.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fast. It's like it's really fast for the amount of range it does. It's like a KOF style move, like what? Burn Knuckles from Terry, I guess, for safe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like only really rare few games where it was.
Right.
And it's like the thing was if it was safe, then he's good, and if it's not, then most of the cases he's usually a bad character.
Yeah.
Some people usually make that joke with him, I think.
That's true. Mm-hmm. It's like he's good or bad depending on what his burn knuckle does. Is it safe? I'll use him.
Yeah.
Or just don't do that move. That was usually me. It's like I just never used it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bardock is good. Again,
he's good everywhere. Just bad. Only zoning. His zoning is only thing that sucks because he doesn't have like a beam. I mean, he can still zone. He's just like you're doing physical zoning. You're not doing projectile zoning.
Yeah, it's not his strength.
Yeah.
But his rush down seems to be pretty good.
Oh yeah. Hard to contest.
Yeah. And again, matter of fact, I've never played with him at all.
Yeah.
I haven't even played with him once. But I've seen enough of him to go, good God. This guy's good.
Yeah.
Pay to win, man. Pay to win. Which I hear some folks talking about DLC characters in Street Fighter 5 and how they're it's like none of the DLC characters are top tier, and I can't help but to think if any of them were, then everybody would then go to the other side and start saying that the game was pay to win.
People just love to argue.
Yeah, but I think Capcom. I think in some ways Capcom kind of made them to where they weren't the absolute best characters of the game because they just didn't want to hear folks complain about having to pay for a character that could win. I just want to bring that up. I just want to say that. It's like, but nobody's going to say that about Dragon Ball because everybody loves it. Even though its internet was completely busted for how many months after it came out. Anyway.
What's it called? Arc System Works. Biasness. Yeah. It's been a recent thing.
Yeah, they can do no wrong. But
they can do no wrong. Yep. Let's have lobbies. Let's have bad lobbies going, and can't do no wrong.
Oh, hey, we hadn't talked about the best part of the update of the patch. How could we have forgotten? Android 16.
Oh yes. Who?
Android 16?
No, I don't know.
Uh-huh. The old dunk master, as it were.
I think I remember a Duckmaster, but I
Uh-huh.
don't remember. I don't see an Android 16 on my select screen anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's a red X on it.
He's just gone, huh?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
realistically, I guess he's still okay, but man, like they really did a number on him.
I mean, okay, so he doesn't get a hard knockdown. Oh,
Nope.
well, that's one of the things that's changed for everybody now, right? Because I think that was an adult Gohan change too, where he doesn't get a hard knockdown on certain moves anymore.
Right.
Only on the on the S in the air.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like his EX overhead on when he's at
Oh,
level
that's right.
one.
Yeah, he didn't get it on that anymore. And
Yeah, he
for
doesn't
adult
have.
Gohan as well, they didn't they. He's not as safe when he does the EX kicks anymore, or something like that.
Yeah, so there's like two things that goes on with that change. So the first thing is like the very obvious one is like yeah, it's not a true box string in most cases. So now it's like you can reflect the jump L right after, whereas um before before was a true block string, and right now
That's
it's
yeah,
you can reflect it.
yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of takes away some of his
Offense.
pressure there,
Yeah,
which
but it's still good though because it's still like you're still putting the opponent like a mix-up situation. Good because if they
mhm,
reflect, you can just land in Dragon Rush or land in 5L delayed, and you'll
mhm,
punish them for the reflect like that.
yeah,
They just probably it's just not to be I guess like autopilot with the
right,
presser,
yeah,
so you don't just immediately do jump L and then get like instant presser ready, so it's guaranteed.
it seems like a lot of this was aimed at the lockdown. Well, some
Yeah.
of it was aimed at lockdown because that's really my only complaint about the game. Is like once you get locked down, there's really nothing you could do about it. You just have
Oh
to sit there
yeah.
and block it.
Yeah. I learned that the hard way with Sermaine, and his Geo1 team. I just feel like once you get hit with 2M with Dol Gohan, I just feel like that's an instant loss
Hmm.
if you block it. Like if you got anywhere and you're blocking the Dol Gohan, to me it's like you lost
Yeah,
because even the tag switch mechanics, the guard switch mechanics, are kind of like really, they're not very rewarding for the cost you spent like per meter.
right.
Even if you do time it right, because it's really easy to react and then block in time. And if you have the Vegeta assist, especially, it's like it's there to cover like even stuff like Vanis if you find the right moment to do it. So it's just it's a hard situation to be in if you're on the defense and you're just taking like just absolute lockdown. That's what the game became, pretty much like a one-player game.
Yeah,
Once you get once you're playing Axel right, good characters, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's adult Gohan, and then poor Android 16. Well,
Yeah,
you know what? I'm not even
it's
gonna say
weird
poor
though.
Android 16. Screw that guy. Now,
Don't you use them?
huh?
You don't. I'm just, this I would think
No,
you
I never
would.
use them, and I don't know why everybody's always so surprised about that. I don't play grapplers.
You play Abigail.
Okay, we're gonna have this argument again.
I know it's
Just
not a
because a character
grappler,
has a command grad doesn't make him a grappler.
but Android 16 kind of isn't like a grappler because he has an instant air dash and all that.
Yeah, but to me, he's a grappler. I mean, his special moves are throws, his super moves are throws. He's a grappler. To me,
Well,
anyway.
what about Abel? Isn't his Ultra 2 a grab?
Well, yeah. And see that would always be the stuff I would throw at folks whenever they would call E Honda a grapple character. It's like he's not a grapple character. He has a command grab. It's like, okay, so does Abel, so does Guy.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So, by the way you define it, guy is a grappler, and they always have to be like, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just because someone has a command grab doesn't make them a grappler. Anyway,
It's usually it's slowness and armor and command grab stuff they have. It's a combination of the three. If
to
I
make him a
usually see,
grappler, well, to me, it's the simple definition of it is a character that depends on throws for his main offense, his main way to do
but
some harm
that's the
to
thing with Android
his
16 though.
opponent. They
He doesn't really
generally
need
don't
it.
have like combos or nothing like that, or good normals. Sometimes they'll have good normals, but generally not great normals. They usually have moves that helps them get in so that they can grab.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing with Android 16. Well, any kind of character with like command grabs in this game, like because like in Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue, like the grapplers they don't have an instant air dash, so it's like yeah they have to get in. Then they usually have oppressive command grab ranges, I believe,
Yeah,
and their damage is extremely high.
I
So
mean,
with Android 16, like we'll say he was supposed to be the kind of grappler that have. I guess the question is why, like, the universal mechanics kind of makes that really hard to be a thing because you have Vanish attack, which you're plus on block, and you're just right there. So,
right.
and he pretty much has like an instant air dash, so he could kind of play like a average cast. It's just it's his 50-50 games. It's not as oppressive as like the others in terms of high-low attacks,
Hmm.
but it's kind of there that like other grapplers and other games wouldn't have it. But then again, we're like comparing different games.
Yeah, because the way this game system worked, like you said, that's just something he's gonna have,
Yeah, it's
unless they
kind of
would have decided to
homogenized.
go, full on Timken and just be like, okay, you can only walk, but that wouldn't be realistic to his character
Yeah,
either.
everybody in Dragon Ball pretty much is like pretty mobile.
Yeah,
So as far
so
as I know,
but yeah, the ability for him to not the ability for his opponents to be able to recover when he does this little throw thing, so you can't pick him back up off the ground and do it again, right?
yeah, yeah, is this no guarantee for like mix up?
Right.
I
And
mean, the current thing is you can instant air dash jump L. That's the new method some people were working on. But the thing is, if you delay wake up, I think if you delay wake up at a right time, I think the opponent has enough leeway to do it like a crouching L or a stand L, so that Android 16's jump L would just outright whiff and he would lose advantage. So, I mean, that would take time to probably get used to. When's the right time? Like, how long do you stay on delay wake up? Like, for how many frames? I guess he's hold down. But for now, that's the thing. I guess people are working on. But it's either that or they switch to a different character.
like you have apparently.
Oh yeah, I kind of switched it before, but I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. I switched from Android 16 before because I felt he was linear.
Mm-hmm.
And like and that's the other thing that bugs me with this patch because like Android 16 from like tournament play has been like watering down over time because I think people are starting to realize like how linear he is, and like because the games pretty much became bullet point one player game and who has the best 50-50 game. Personally, I feel like if you have a crouching L that's a low hit, you're good in most cases, but you probably have to take into account with other things like. So Tien has a crouching L, but the thing is like his super is kind of takes away health and his presser isn't that to be really reckoned with compared to like some of the casts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think he really has many safe things going with him, so that's the other problem with him. Not positive, but things to make him safe to do like really really hard 50-50 stuff. It's kind of hard with that. So he's like one of the few exceptions, but I just feel like low crouching L's are kind of essential. But that's a personal opinion. Really good assist. You know, things like that like Cell, Kid Buu, Bardock. These characters kind of like excel with that. I would say even Gotenks Su, but and a few others like around him. But it's like you kind of need like a. Well, his damage is kind of low, but I feel like there's things that makes up for that. Whereas like Android 16, like he has the damage down, he has Oki down. He has a low attack, which was really good, but the issue I felt was like he felt linear. Like if you online, he'd probably be actually really good. I think that's fair to say. I think like his stuff is really hard to react online. I think, but offline, I feel like you can know what's kind of happening once you get like command grab.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you know things like instant air dash, cross up, jump medium. That's a thing. You know that command grab delayed can be a thing. So I guess the only really big threat would be things like jump H. So because that's like a thing I saw Momochi that was like he would command grab and then do jump H. But for some characters that whiffs, so that doesn't even work at all either. So it's like if you're one of those small characters, that really dampers his mix-up potential, which was getting to my other thing. If you have a team like Geo1's team, like anyone that has that kind of style of play against Android 16, that's like a really bad matchup. Typically, anyone with like small characters or anyone that has really good abuse for like, 50-50 stuff is really hard on big characters. So someone like Adult Gohan and stuff like that would do really well against big characters, especially. That's why some people pick small characters against Adult Gohan because, like, some of his stuff aren't really, I guess some people would say, real strings to do. So it's like Adult Gohan strats would have to be kind of changed up against small characters, whereas big characters, like, go to town with like all your block strings and 50-50s. It's really hard on big characters like Android 16. So that was like always a little concern to have. So at the end of the day, like there just wasn't like I think Android 16 play like was like lowering over time, and it's just weird how they just decided to make like a really drastic nerf for him when most people were just switching away from him. I mean, that's all I have to say about Android 16. I just feel like it's weird how they did this big change on him, but like, Cell, Kid Buu, and others were like pretty much unchanged.
Yeah, but I get the feeling that's probably not going to be for long. I get the feeling they only did, like I said, this was kind of like just a little thing to maybe
like a Band-Aid patch.
Yeah, like a Band-Aid patch, just to put a stop to the one thing that they kind of really wanted to do right now. Like I said, just to me, I'm not an expert at this game at all, but it seemed pretty evident to me the main goal was to stop a lot of the lockdown situations, or at least some of the worst ones. Although, there's still stuff like the characters you mentioned and everything. That I feel like there's probably going to be a bigger patch that's going to balance out everything, but for some reason they're waiting. They're waiting on that for some reason. And they need to be careful how much longer they wait. They're going to mess around and do it around Evo time, and everybody's going to be pissed at them. So,
yeah,
I mean,
that's going to be a big problem.
If it doesn't happen before June, we might be waiting until after Evo.
Yeah.
Before something like that comes out. Even the new DLC characters. 'Cause, I mean, they've said nothing Although,
Yeah.
knowing them, they could come out with a thing tomorrow and be like, oh yeah, they'll be out next week. So, okay,
Mm.
okay then, because that's pretty much how the patch was announced, right? It was like, hey, there's a patch coming out next week. So, oh,
Yeah.
cool, okay,
Yeah. And it's funny because it was like, oh, Frieza buffs and stuff, but like the buff he's received really wasn't like he's still not good.
really,
He's okay, but you're not. He's not going to be like, oh, Japan top tier material. Like, watch out for top 8 Japans with Frieza. It's like that's not going to happen.
yeah,
It's just going to be. If anything, this patch I feel like actually lowered the gap. Like, well, it kind of separated the gap more to be, more unbalanced. I would say.
a little bit because it might force everybody to start going toward the
Yeah, that's pretty much what it did because like what all it did was it just made it certain that if you're an Android 16 player, just switch to another top tier character.
Yeah,
It didn't really add anybody in the top tier category.
right. It just took a couple guys out of it.
Yeah, mainly under 16.
Yeah,
As far as I know, I don't think anybody else's side on him went down. I mean,
Yeah, not really.
Changes like it's like the Dolgon's still good.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
still
he'll
good.
Still be top tier.
Yeah, and it wasn't
Maybe-
like.
or yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Go ahead.
Like I just don't think he's gonna be at the bare minimum. Like he's still gonna be high tier at the very least. He's never gonna having fast fall like is just really good alone. Like and fast fall combined with 5L, which is a low hit, and he has good instant air dash kind of things going for him. Like that's really hard for him to be a bad character, even with the changes given.
Right.
The only way he was going to be bad if the patch notes were to say, "Oh, fast fall now has a lot of recovery time when he lands,"
Right.
or
Which
or
would
like
kind of.
his 5L is now like a medium, like a what is it, a high attack, I think.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that would mess him up.
Yeah,
pretty
because then
good.
he would have no lows.
Right.
So yeah,
Yep. So yeah,
But-
he's still fine, and it wasn't like folks were running Vegeta because he was a great let's see, like point character or anything like that. He's basically the Tron Bond of this game. It's like
It's weird, though,
you
because,
you
like,
learn to use Tron Bond because you really only want it for assist, type of deal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's kind of the role he's fell into in this game right now. He's not a terrible character by no means, but most folks just have him for his assist.
Right. I think for me, I may end up sticking with him.
I like him.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because he feels like a character that is good, like by himself, and it's weird because he seems like he has bad, like not so good normals, but I mean he has a 2L that's a crouch and hit.
Hmm.
He has a DP, which I want to say that like DPs are really 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 strong in this game, and I think it feels underrated.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about it actually. Like,
And
oh yeah, he
only
has
like
that.
3 characters have it, I think. Well, outside of supers, like level 1 supers, like Bardock.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's like the only exception, I think. Outside of level 3s and stuff, but level 1 is Bardock, and I think Kid Boo's air level 1 super might be invincible. I have no idea.
I don't
It's
know.
probably just very active to be invincible, but startup is probably not invincible. But anyways, like yeah, Vegeta, Gohan, Team Gohan, all 3 of them had DPs, which
Mhm.
that's really good to have.
Yeah.
Team Gohan might be underrated too, maybe. Because his fireball loops actually does a lot of damage. I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw it or not.
Yeah, I did actually.
They do a lot. The only issue is if you play against like small characters, and if you're playing against small characters, his bomb loops may be a little tighter on the EX legs part. I mean, there's a easy, consistent way to do it, but you got to make sure you have the timing down well enough to do it. But I'm pretty sure if someone really likes Team Gohan, they can make that work well enough. So he may there may be a rise of Team Gohans over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, as of now, like not much has, the game just probably like got a little less balanced probably because of the changes overall, because it didn't really buff like the low tiers or anything like that.
Oh,
If anything, they just made the top tier gap much more or less crowded. So now it's like you have to use Cell, maybe have a Kid Buu, or I mean you don't really have to have a Kid Buu. You can have a Vegeta and you'll still do all right. You just have to find another lockdown assist, and then you'll be good to go.
Yeah, we got Sam in the chat now.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, WTF is Solar Test. Did I misspell solstice? I have to go back and look.
Is it?
Maybe I did. I guess we'll see.
Solstice.
Is it in the banners, or did I misspell it in the banners?
SOLSTISEICE. No, it's.
Or did he just misspell it here? No, he must have just misspelled it here. Solstice. So if you're just asking what the solstice is, that's the longest day of the year. It's also the shortest day of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It's the day summer actually begins. We always do Solstice Showdown the week of the solstice. We started doing Solstice Showdown because the first Solstice Showdown we ever did was actually on the summer solstice. So, and so ever since then we've always done it the week of the solstice because it hasn't fallen on a Saturday again since. Mm-hmm. Now you know. So the other two DLC characters for Dragon Ball FighterZ, Fused Zamasu.
Yep.
And Super Saiyan Blue Vegito.
Yes, Vegito. And I feel like they gave like a different name to Zamasu in like different regions. But it's like Zamasu with the what's the rings used? Something ring earrings.
Oh, the Patara
rings?
Yeah. Patara earrings.
Yeah, they I think it's like Zamasu Patara. Like just leave it like that, in parentheses. So I wonder if there's like different region names. Like
probably.
Yeah. I haven't really followed much with Dragon Balls to know that.
Maybe, of course not.
I don't know if in Japan they call them like that or not. Kind of like how Boo's called something different in Japan. Like they don't say like Kid Buu or Majin Buu. They do like.
Well, he's Buu in Japan.
Yeah, he's Buu in Japan, but they.
Well, I mean, okay, so yeah, the other names for him, they were never really officially names. They were just kind of what everybody called his different forms. So, like, the Fat Buu is usually called either Fat Buu or Majin Buu or anything after Z is over, like Mr. Buu. It's just the way everybody started to refer to his different forms. So, yeah, you had Fat Buu. You had Super Buu, which there was actually different forms of him, too. And then there was Evil Buu, the one that ate the Fat Buu to turn into Super Buu. And then you had Kid Buu. But, I mean, his name was always just Buu, though. So a lot of the names that folks would refer to him, so you know which version of him you were talking about when you were talking to somebody about the show or the comic. That's where those names came from. He was never really officially called those things until they started putting them in games and stuff.
Maybe that's what they did. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, like Evil Buu and Good Buu. I think that's what they called them in Japan.
I mean, they could call them all kinds of stuff. Again, in the actual show and comic themselves, I don't think Buu actually had any other official names besides Buu.
Majin Buu?
Yeah.
Buu?
Yeah. But that that actually happens a lot in that show if you think about it, because a lot of the moves don't actually have names, wouldn't have names if it wasn't for the games. Like Trunks' Heat Dome in the show and the comic, it never had a name. It was just the move he used to kill Cell. Let's see. Also, it's Finish Buster. I don't think was ever actually named in the show or the comic. Piccolo's light grenade, or Gikaritsu Koden, didn't have a name until he was in the games. You know, it was just a big ass blast he hit Frieza with, and I believe he used it against Cell too, when he got his ass kicked by him. Let's see, anybody else have moves that didn't have names until they had to give them names in the game? Vegeto's sword, it didn't actually have a name.
You mean the one that goes vertical from a 12 o'clock to a 3 o'clock hit?
I guess. Very much like a Captain Sword.
Yeah, no. That
yeah, which I saw the Max reaction video to it, and he was asking, is that the way the move always done? I was like, no, I've seen every episode except for in Super. I wasn't sure if it happened in Super, but apparently it doesn't happen there either. He's never actually done it like that. I've only ever seen him pierce enemies with it and pick them up. But then again, that character's only existed twice, and both times it was very brief.
Yeah, I seen he did it in like another game before this one.
Oh yeah, he's oh that's yeah. Come to find out that Tenkaichi 2 or 3, he had it in that where he swiped with it. So technically, he's done that before, but not in like the show or anything like that.
Right.
In the show, he pierces Boo with it and picks him up, and I think he pierces Goku Black with it too. Spoilers. Or actually, it was fused Zamasu at that point. Spoilers. So, which I haven't actually seen in the manga. I've only read that in the comic book version. Which, point of note, most folks that I've read about liked the fight in the comic better than the way it's playing out in the anime. I'm only seeing that fight in the anime now, and I'm kind of agreeing with it. I like the way it worked out in the comic better. But either way, I think it was.
Use the Zamasu mechanics, I guess, how he plays. Well, we were kind of touching on both.
Yeah, just, that they're in it, and Zamasu's got to have one of the most cringy intros in history. Oh, yeah. This looks like, what what are they doing? Yeah. When I saw it, I almost thought it was a joke. I was like, oh no, oh man, yeah, that's going to be a thing from now on, apparently.
Yeah, people already did music videos on that.
Oh, are you serious?
So, yeah. It's good timing.
I gotta look those up. But yeah, so yeah, there's that.
He has a float ability too, which I think was pretty neat.
Yeah,
so I think it's gonna not gonna be good because of the whole super dash mechanic.
So does he just float, or does he actually have flight?
It looks like a flight, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from these.
It looks like one of those little Mortal Kombat kind of style flights, or maybe there is a versus game flight you probably can compare, maybe like the MVC 2.
MVC, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, once you go in flight, you can like move any direction you want, and you have like this weird physics movement going. So it's like kind of like that.
But if you can't block, I mean, second he starts flying, when everybody just
super dash.
Super dash. That's what I'm thinking. So I guess we'll see. I mean, these little teases that they give for these characters are so short.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I kind of like that because you feel like it's something new when he comes out and you're trying to learn him. But in other ways, it's like, really? The ad I had to watch before I saw that was almost twice as long. Come on. So, but
That's troubling. That's why I always have that block.
yeah, well, when you're on your phone and that working, that's the only way you can see stuff.
Yeah.
Got to
true.
deal with it
Yeah.
through the Amazon app. Amazon, the YouTube app. So, but but yeah, I mean, I hope they announce when they're coming out, so I won't have time to use them. But I'm excited to see how they play and everything. I mean, because one thing that I talked to Pooh about, the guy that we talked to after the event last week.
Yeah.
One thing I was talking to him about is like kind of in some ways I'm kind of disappointed because it looks like that the leak list was right, which means
Oh yeah, that leak list definitely seems right. That was from the DLC notepad thing
yeah,
that they left over. So yeah, that looks
which kind of means two of the characters are going to be based
Goku and Vegeta.
Goku and Vegeta.
Yep, we're gonna get more Gokus.
Yeah, which as a Dragon Ball fan, I'm actually happy that they're there.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah, you can't stop fan service. It's still good.
yeah, but
People want to hate on it, but
I mean,
people love it. They eat that up.
you could have put Super Boo in there.
Yeah, they could have. They could have put
You could have put
credits or something.
Dabura or I don't know, Tao Papa even. I mean, come on, man. Tao.
Red guy was
Papa.
Dabura, right?
Yes. Red guy in the
Oh, yeah,
blue
yeah, I remember
with the
him, yeah.
with the sword and the fire and the spit that turgid stone and everything. Yeah.
That seems pretty legit. I'd like that.
Yeah. Now, I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being like the 10 Tenkaichi games where it seems like they put so much into the first one, but then you're like, oh wait, they held a lot of stuff back, and then like everything shows up in the second game because part of Bandai's contract, in order to keep making the Dragon Ball games, they have to make a new game for it every year. So,
Well, that's not. Well, I guess it's bad when you consider a whole season pass stuff, because it's like, what's the whole season pass for?
well, to help defray the cost of adding extra stuff to the game as it goes and everything. So
That's
I
pretty
mean,
much a $90 game then.
well, yeah, okay, well, yeah, we could talk about that because I've been saying this for years. Game developers want to charge more, and you can tell how much a game developer actually wants to charge for a game by adding up the price of the base game and its season pass. That's how much they actually want to charge for the game. And I've been saying this for years too. Certain games I think could get away with charging more. Only certain ones though.
Street Fighter 5 is probably one of them.
Probably not.
Not? Really?
Okay, I'll tell you this. I don't know of any fighting game.
Costumes, you might be right. For the costumes, you're probably right. But for characters, I think they did okay, kind of.
If there was a fighting game that could get away with it, it may be Street Fighter, because what they're doing is basically charging you a refresh fee, every year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll add 8 characters to it every year, and you basically pay the price for it. But like I believe like a game like Grand Theft Auto, that game could come out at $100. Folks would whine, but everybody would still buy it, right?
Yeah.
They could charge $100 and everybody would still buy it. The Elder Scrolls games, they could charge $100 and folks would still buy it. Those are huge games, open world, tons of stuff to do. You're sinking hundreds and hundreds of hours into these games. $100 isn't that big of an ask. Yet they still come out at $60. Then you got these smaller games that 10, 15 hours of gameplay, and then they want you to buy a season pass on top of it. And it's like the game developers, if you go into the economics of it all, game prices really hadn't increased that much, like at all, going back from the early days. Folks forget that SNES games used to cost $60, $70, up to $80. Then when it came out on CDs and everything, the standard price pretty much became $50, and then when they moved up to DVDs and Blu-rays, they raised it up to $60. But when you adjust, yeah, when you adjust for inflation, game prices are actually lower than what they used to be. Game developers, though, they want and in some ways need to charge more for these games, but nobody wants to be the first company to bring their game out at $100. Nobody wants to be the first one. They all want to do it, but they're waiting on somebody else to crash and burn first. Because I can guarantee you right now, Activision wants to sell you every COD game for $120. And they might be able to do it, but the first one that comes out at $100 is going down in flames.
Likely, yeah.
And then EA will bring out, a new Battlefield game, a new Battlefront game, a new Titanfall game, and they'll bring it out at $80. And $80 isn't as bad as $100. So folks are, they'll still kind of be upset about it, but they'll still do it, and have the other guys eat all the bad press and everything, and then everybody else would jump on the $80, $100 bandwagon after that. Nobody wants to be the first one. But you can tell how much game developers want to charge for their games, add up the base price of the game, plus whatever season pass is in it. That's how much they actually want to charge for those games. I don't think fighting games could get away with it, though, unless there was no more such thing as a season pass. It's like, I'm paying $100 for Street Fighter V. I better get the full game up front.
Until a super version comes or something, or what?
Sure, something like that. You can do stuff like add extra costumes and stuff like that, and even do a refresh of the game a year or two down the line. But definitely not like what they're doing now. The season thing that they're doing now, in some ways they're kind of doing what Killer Instinct did, but Killer Instinct did it right because if you bought base Killer Instinct without much else, you just bought it for what, $20, and then added on to it after that. Issue with Street Fighter V is that was a $60 game, and as we all know, that wasn't a complete $60 game either. It wasn't really complete for another year and a half before it can be kind of considered complete.
Yeah, I would kind of consider AE to be the complete form.
Yeah,
that's when you actually got proper offline stuff to do.
True that.
I still wish there would been an actual a side-scrolling thing or whatever at that point. I think the Guilty Gear PSP version I had at one point, or I feel like there's some games that can fighting games that did single player pretty good. Even Mortal Kombat games used to do okay too. I'm not a fan of the newest MKX story though, but I mean they did all right with it. I mean Street Fighter V kind of did that too with their story mode. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, actually I like the story mode. I mean, it's a fighting game. I'm not expecting an Oscar, story script or nothing like that. It's a fighting game. It's not going to be a good story. Yeah. But I still enjoyed it though. It gives you something to do. You get some enjoyment out of it. And, you see your characters doing something cool and interacting with each other. Yeah.
Used to be my way to learn how the game works. At least it used to be like that with Mortal Kombat Deception, I think. You remember how Conquest was in that game?
Yeah.
It was you pretty much had to learn characters and stuff.
Yep.
Shoot a story and yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked that actually. The story modes that kind of force you to play with everybody, or at least a bunch of different characters. Mm-hmm. It gives you a good cross section because with me, Lord knows, I usually find one character I like and stick with them the whole time. So, for me, it kind of gives me an excuse to, have to learn somebody else. At least if you just want to, get through the story mode and everything.
I forgot it was open world too.
An open world fighting game?
No, more kind of stuff than it was kind of open world too.
Oh,
the
yeah.
adventure mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like there was a couple things you can do and like to unlock stuff. Which
yeah.
I don't know if like newer games do that where you can unlock stuff.
No, not really. I mean, yeah, I think back on that game and they put a lot of work into that stuff. There's a lot of side stuff in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, MK9 didn't really do much for unlocking things other than like what you beat story mode. You can play now as Quan Chi, and same thing with MKX. You beat the game, you now can play as Sinnoh. But
those games kind of came out in a new era where
DLC.
Yeah. DLC and I think just people don't expect that stuff from their games anymore. It'd be nice, but especially having to unlock stuff, especially now, because you remember when Street Fighter 4 came out and you had to unlock,
colors and stuff.
Well, like characters still.
Even characters too, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of folks were upset. It's like, what is this crap? And as older folks were like, well, I mean, this is kind of the way it used to be, but the younger folks didn't understand it at all. It's like, I bought this game. Why can't I use the Kuma?
It really doesn't take long to beat it all, though. You just it's very easy in one round, and
but
I forgot what the method was. I think couldn't you just use one character the whole time, like Zangief, and just lariat through the game?
I don't remember either. I mean, for folks like us, it's not that bad, but I always point out that there are folks that are just horrible at these games that just play it for fun that will never, unlock the cool stuff if they can't beat the game. If they can't even beat the game on easy, of course everybody's answer would be get good, but some folks, just aren't able to do that.
And put secret codes in it, like in the old times.
Yeah, or as they would say, just don't lock characters.
Or DLC it. That's the way the companies
do
it nowadays.
See, don't forget, Capcom didn't really want to do any kind of DLC for Street Fighter 4. They didn't really understand DLC at the time, and folks were asking them for it, and they were like, "What kind of stuff would you want us to do?" "Oh yeah, just give us new costumes or colors and stuff like that." And they're like, "I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but we'll try." And we got the system that we ended up getting.
Yep.
Where they had a new costume, but nobody could see the costume unless you downloaded the patch. So then everybody had to make sure everybody got the patch with all the costumes so that you could at least see the costume if somebody else bought it. But now folks are mad because the costume's on my console, but I have to pay you to unlock the costume. It's like, well, yeah, that's the only way we could get it to work so you can see the costume.
Yeah.
Which I believe all of that confusion and stuff led to what they did in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah. Well, that was like an imbalanced mess because gyms pretty much like.
Oh well, the gyms hold
gyms online. Like if people had play to win gyms online, you couldn't do anything about that. That was like the big complaint.
Oh.
And like the disc DLC. I mean, I don't know. To me, it was whatever. If the characters were on the DLC, to me, it could have been like, they could have been like not fully ready.
Yeah, well, it was that, and again, in their minds, I don't think they had any kind of, we're going to screw these guys over. I think in their mind, they wanted to make sure that everybody had the same thing so that they wouldn't have to deal with what they dealt with in Street Fighter 4 with all the costumes stuff,
Right.
And if you didn't download the right patch, you couldn't see the costume. Right. And stuff like that. So that I believe is the main reason that they did that. So when the DLC characters did come out, if you didn't have, if you didn't buy the DLC, you could still see whatever everybody else was doing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really kind of the stone that tripped them and made them start rolling downhill. Everything kind of went bad after that. because then there was a level of distrust to Capcom, and now all of a sudden anything that they do was construed as trying to screw the customer, and then their rush job on Street Fighter V didn't help that at all.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Or their lack of support of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Or MVCI for that matter.
I still like the idea of the whole beta thing, what they did, but like I still feel like they sort of like. I remember you said they shouldn't do this, and you didn't agree with me, but I wanted it to do like the way Cross Tag did it. Was how PC people got the beta, so there was like this whole skepticism of like, oh, it's not fair. PC players got like the beta version on hand. Louisiana people would secretly be playing. I would be secretly playing and stuff.
Right.
Sometimes there's this big concern, and I'm kind of concerned like why wouldn't like the last month or so they could just make it like everybody at pre-order could play it if they wanted to. They just probably couldn't use everything that the game had to offer. Maybe like online play or something. But that didn't happen. And I think you mentioned that it just was like it may not be good business wise, and I can kind of see that. But
yeah. But what the heck were we even talking about? I don't even remember. We got off on a tangent there. Next thing you know, I'm talking about Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll be talking.
I know we were talking about prices of games and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way.
Maybe the mods of Street Fighter V. Have you heard about that?
What's that?
There's like some mod going around for Street Fighter V, and like there's like, I think there's just like a lot of like heat going on like the Reddit of Street Fighter, and like with people like trying to like put that game out there, and then there's some there like they still want to. Well, most would probably rather play for original Street Fighter V, but yeah, there's just that thing. But that was something that's been going on for like a week ago or so, where it's like there's just like a lot of push going for that modded game of Street Fighter V.
What's the mod do?
It's basically some fan-made mod that like people did to try to make it like way over like where you can do like a lot of combo stuff on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like, and there's like new like mechanics and stuff. It's an interesting idea. The thing is, I think most people are gonna be playing, what's intended to play at first. See, but then there's the things like how like Dota was like a custom map at first for Warcraft.
Yeah.
And eventually became its own game.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a little comparison with that, but I don't know. I just don't think that kind of happens with fighting games.
I don't see Capcom doing something like that.
Yeah.
Unless they make a big turn and decide, you know what, we're going full on, make the fans happy deal, which they've been trying to kind of do with Street Fighter V most recently.
Yeah.
So hey, you know what? Everybody wants to know what all the characters are in season 3. Show them. They're going to find out anyway.
Yeah.
Or if they already found out anyway, let's just go ahead and show them. And they showed it, and the world didn't implode because we already knew what happened. If anything, it made everybody more excited, if not a little upset that Sagat was last. But
well, it makes our hopes a little higher per month, I guess. Just waiting for Sagat to come, or Cody. There's like mixed. Well, there's a lot more hype for Sagat, I guess, but
yeah,
there's
Cody should be pretty cool though. I mean, Cody's next, so.
Oh yeah.
I presume if they don't talk about him anytime soon, they'll probably show him at Evo.
Yeah.
Possibly CEO. Actually, now that I think about it, what's the next big CPT event? It's not CEO, is it? Well, it's Combo Breaker, right?
Combo Breaker.
Yeah, it's Combo Breaker.
Louisiana people made I think they made a big deal about Combo Breaker. I think so. Yeah, I think Combo Breaker is the next CPT event.
Yeah. So they might, they could show something there. They might wait to CEO. They might wait to Evo. We'll see. I mean, those first characters came out, one behind the other, and then Falk actually skipped a month. So they might be kind of spreading it out at this point. If anything, they might do the Cody announce at CEO and then announce what else they're doing with the game at Evo.
Probably gonna tease like the remaining characters there too. I mean, if I were to expect something that would probably be good on their announcing side, they probably should do something like that.
I mean, you remember they did that with they did that as CEO when they went ahead and announced the last three characters of season 1.
Yeah, that was like one of the better announcements at the time. But that was around the time when they were kind of like having a lot of problems, with Alex not having a trailer.
It's like, okay, here's Alex. It's like, what? Oh, okay. It's like you release them like a month and a half late and don't even really hype them up or nothing. Just kind of push them out the door. And
of all the announcements like that and the Capcom Pro Tour announcement of this year for Arcade Edition with the whole silhouettes thing, that was also, I would consider those two like the better strong point announcements.
Yeah.
From release till now, just because there was this good content. But I mean, you can't do that all the time, right? But
right.
I feel like this kind of announcement should have been saved. Like the CEO one, they probably should have been saved for like Evo. And that's the same thing I had with like last year's Evo with Abigail announcement, because I just feel like there should have been more than just Abigail.
Yeah, I know everybody was so disappointed with the Abigail announcement. First of all, I was ecstatic because I knew how that was going to be my character as soon as I saw him. But besides that, I've told you this before. It's like it was Abigail's turn. It's like he was the character that was coming out at the time. So I know folks were disappointed.
Season 3 too.
Huh?
He had his time to sign in season 3 also.
Yeah.
Before the 0.5 patch hit.
For a minute.
Yep.
For a minute, I was doing okay, and then they took away the one thing I liked. Because in actuality, most reasonable Abigail users out there would agree with most of the nerfs that he got. Because I was surprised he got buffed when season 3 started. I mean, it wasn't huge buffs, but they actually made him better. So, I wasn't surprised at like the stun nerf. I thought he did way too much stun. That's fine. I completely agree with that. His EX flip, it hurt a lot. Okay, we can go ahead and nerf that down too. Some of the other moves that don't do as much damage as they used to. Okay, I understand. I'm not happy about it, but I understand. To this day, the thing that just messes me up is that he can't cancel out of his ducking like kick anymore. I lost so many rounds, and I still do lose so many rounds because I'm still trying to do combos that don't work anymore. I used to do standing light kick, ducking light kick into Abigail punch, and I still try to do that, and I'm still fighting to force myself to not do that anymore. If I hit a standing light kick, I got to do a standing light punch into Abigail punch, because if I go into ducking light kick, it'll combo, but I can't do anything out of it. And I just screw myself that way, and a lot of that old stuff is just hard to break. I still have issues with it. I was telling them at the event a couple of weeks ago. It's like, if you go back and look, you'll see a couple of times where I did something that ended in a light kick, and that was me going, well, crap. I can't do anything after that anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was, just completely destroyed by the stuff that was done to him. But he definitely has to work for whatever he gets now, though. A lot more is all. So, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. And I think on that note, like, because you mentioned Abigail changes, how much did we talk about the patch changes for Street
For
Fighter Five?
Street Fighter 5, we did. I don't know if we talked about Street Fighter 3.5.
I have a feeling I think we did. We just
I think
never
we
got
we
hands-on experience
yeah,
because that was
it was
it
probably
was
before it came out.
yeah,
It must have been before it came out.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't remember 2 months ago. Oh, actually 3 months ago now. So, but is there anything particular you want to bring up about it? I mean, I like that they nerfed Rashid to the point where Sam isn't even gonna try to use him anymore.
Yeah, I heard
That's
about
right, I
that.
said it.
That is unfortunate, but yeah,
I mean, you know, I'm not a Rashid player, but I do notice I have an easier time fighting Rashids online now. Also because I'm constantly having to get my butt kicked by Sam. So if I'm playing a Rashid that's not as good as him, oh, I win that fight all the time.
yeah.
But what did they change about Laura? Cause I used to just have the hardest time in that match, and now I beat her all the time.
Her V trigger Okazumi stuff is like a lot weaker. That's the only big pointers I saw from like videos.
Hmm.
But as far as hands on, I never really put hands on with her, so I don't recall. But the big thing I would say is like her Unga like comeback potential, like from her V trigger, isn't as strong as before. So like her cross ups, like she used to have like cross up situations where it's like she would get you in the air, V trigger, and then she has like a V skill, left or right mix up from the fireball she puts out. That's changed, so now she's always up front, I believe. So it's now like a linear kind of like Okazemi. So now it's just like, just block the fireball part,
Hmm.
or they just don't do it at all anymore. They do something else. They probably go for damage or the air command grab follow ups. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's to the point where they probably use another character now, I think, or
I feel like that's probably what a lot of them do because, like I said, I didn't really pay any mind to what they did to her, but I did notice after the patch, like I just destroy her now.
yeah,
And
just her comeback potential is a lot less now. I
yeah,
believe that's about it.
I know they kind of nerfed the medium kick thing. That was helpful.
Oh yeah,
It's like she can't
that too.
just sit there and do that over and over and over again.
Yep.
So that's nice.
Hmm.
So
I think her like throw elbow mix-ups probably like nerf too. I don't know if they changed that since season 3 though. I have bad memory.
I
Didn't-
never really looked.
Oh no, yeah, they had to do the throw thing since season 3 because everybody got a throw nerf in season 3, I
Oh
believe,
yeah.
from the start.
Yeah.
So she couldn't do that at the beginning, but I think it was just her. I think her V skill cross ups potential things was just like really good. But I think once that was removed, like I think a lot of people just weren't feeling her,
Hmm.
I guess, at the time. So, but yeah, Rassi got hit hard a lot. In a way, it made it probably indirectly buffed Ken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Ken's probably the same, like in terms of patch notes, but like for himself, I think he's like indirectly better because of the changes for everybody else. I think.
Yeah, he doesn't have his
Thanks to them nerfing people.
throw loops anymore, so
Yeah, but I mean, he's
no more
he's
of that.
still corner carries really well.
Yeah.
And it's not like his like throw game's like terrible. It's like once he throws, he still can do like he's still up close to you to where he can like walk up, throw you, or stand fierce to you on the way up.
Hmm.
It's still strong. There's just probably not. There's probably just not as much as he could do as before, but there's still a couple of things he could do. Yeah. I guess it's all right. Not a fan of the whole. Still not a fan of like nerfs in general, but you know, I gotta. It's their game. You can't really do much about it.
True.
Adapt.
So, Sam says Akuma is greater than Ken. Why play Ken when you have Akuma?
Yeah, that's true. I just I don't know. I liked Akuma in Alpha 3, and I think I was liking Akuma in the end of Street Fighter 4's lifespan too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think over time Ryu was just not that good. Like the last time it was probably like okay, it was like 2012.
Yep.
But ever since Ultra, I just feel like probably like it just wasn't worth using him. So over time, I would either go from either Evil Ryu or Akuma, and I was liking Akuma how he felt. He just felt very mobile, flexible, and like it felt like he can handle a lot of things in the game well. But yeah, as for 5, Akuma is better for sure. I probably prefer Ken though, but that's because I play a lot of Third Strike Ken. He feels more or less to me like that, so I probably have that biasness towards that, liking that style of play.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like Street Fighter 4 Ryu reminds me of how Street Fighter 5 Ken would play, whereas Street Fighter 4 Ryu feels nothing like Street Fighter 5 Ryu. 5 Ryu just feels like bonkers, like not like a character you just sent me in the game.
Because why is he even here, huh?
Like his normals just aren't like they're not as strong, or his pressure really isn't that like scary as like almost all the casts.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it gets to the point when a grappler does well against Ryu, that's a problem. So yeah, I don't think they really intended to have the game based around him. Probably.
Well,
if they do, it's always going to be for the worse.
As my twin always says, they kind of balanced every character in the game to be able to counter what he can do, but never balanced him to be able to fight everybody else. That's what he always says.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of feels like that's probably exactly what happened. Because, almost every character has a way to get around a projectile. And I think that was a direct thing from Street Fighter 4 where you had E Honda that was just like, oh, there's a fireball on the screen. I'm screwed. A type of deal where, you got like characters now, like freaking Abigail can just swat away a fireball. It's like awesome. And, some characters can just, duck under them, walk right past them.
That'd be pretty sick, though, if Honda could stand fierce at fireball.
all I wanted
to the ground too and splashes it.
Why didn't they have his EX headbutt either, take an armored hit for a fireball or just straight up destroy the fireball like his light headbutt used to do in Super Turbo? I understood they didn't want that to happen again.
That would do way too much damage for a reward as hitting.
But it cost meter, and Blanca could do it.
Blanca's gimmicky. Now, like you say, Honda's gimmicky too, but like Honda's like a lot more solid than Blanca. It's a really hard comparison to make, but it's like I don't know. Blanca's like a character. It's like
that's all I wanted. Just give me something with his EX headbutt. At least let me spin some bar in order to have to do something about a projectile. Something. Anything. God, you put
him the sand move.
Huh?
Make it like they should just make his EX headbutt closer to the opponent.
Land closer to the opponent?
And then he has a sand move. He can just use that as like a Okuzumi thing, like with Cody's thing. But instead he can use it on the ground. So I don't know. I'm just thinking of really dumb things, but they thought it would be funny if he like does like a throw on you, and then he does like a meaty sand, and he can get an Ochio right after.
Oh, jeez. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Attack, though.
Yeah.
But hey, they should make sand break focus attack.
There you
glass
go.
break effect once the sand hits. That'd be great.
I didn't want anything that was, too crazy or nothing like that. But when Ultra was coming out, I was like, God, just please give Honda something to be able to deal with projectiles, please.
A dive kick.
Well, I mean, you already had the butt slam, so you timed that right. But either way,
oh hey, you gotta give him like a jumping butt splash instead of like a grounded butt splash.
Something that will change his kind of like a Juggernaut's little splash move in the air.
Yeah.
Kind of change the projection of his throw, so you think he's coming down one way, then all of a sudden he does a little hop and the splash after that, and messes up your whole thing, and you get hit. That would have been. Yeah. You know what? I like that. That would have worked.
Yeah, Capcom doesn't like it though.
No, because screwy Honda. Like, why'd you even put him in the game? Which,
Micross.
Come to think about it, to end things off, we'll talk about a couple of things just to get caught up real quick. And while this is on my mind, let's talk about Street Fighter anniversary. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's coming out the end of the month, right?
I haven't been following in terms of release date, no.
I believe it comes out like the 29th or the 30th, something like that. I know it's the end of the month. And it's got the arcade versions of Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2. Is it every version of Street Fighter 2, or is it just Street Fighter just Street Fighter 2 and then Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo? Is it every version of Street Fighter 2?
I would think it's just those two.
Well, I know the online versions are the only online version of Street Fighter 2 is Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find the listing for it. But I think the only alpha game in it is 3, or no, it's all the alphas.
5.
3. Was that?
Yeah, 5 Street Fighter 2s.
Okay, so yeah, it is all the Street Fighter 2s. So it's all the Street Fighter 2s, Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, and 3, right?
It's yeah.
Okay. But is it only Street Fighter 3 Third Strike? No, it's all three. It's all Street Fighter 3's original, Second Impact, and Third Strike.
Yeah, all alphas and all of the 3 series.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then if you pre-order the game, you'll get a free copy of Street Fighter Ultra on PS4, the Xbox 360 version of Street Fighter 4 on Xbox One, and the Switch version is going to have basically the Japanese arcade version of Super 2 Turbo, right? Where you can kind of match somebody else on their Switch or something like that. It's going to be the only version that's going to allow that because, well, it's the only version that really needs to do it that way. But so I think it's awesome. I think it's going to be cool, to have all those games available to play and everything. I have one gaping issue with it.
4 games with only online play?
Well, no, not that. I think that's cool. We're only getting the arcade version.
Yeah.
Of some of these games.
Yep.
Which means that version of Street Fighter Alpha 3 is going to be missing like 4 or 5 characters. No Fei Long, no T-Hawk.
See, but if it said that, then they would have put Alpha 3 upper.
That's what I wanted. It's like, why is that game stuck in PSP hell?
Because
you got to be freaking kidding me.
I think Japan didn't like that game.
Screw Japan! Why wasn't every version of Alpha on there? All I wanted was Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold and Street Fighter Alpha 3 freaking upper.
Yeah.
For Christ's sake! But no, we get the arcade version of the game where characters are just not gonna be there. It's
Yeah.
like, I love T-Hawk. No T-Hawk. I wonder if Guile's even gonna. No, I don't think. No, Guile's not gonna be in it.
No Guy, no Yun, no. Well, I don't know.
Not. I'm not even talking about the characters they added to Upper. I'm talking about the characters they added to the console version that weren't in the arcade. Because the original arcade version also didn't have Balrog. They added him to it at some point, and then they put who?
The original arcade version had Balrog as a secret character.
Yeah.
They didn't even have like a portrait. I think it was just like a shadow icon.
Yeah, because he was added to the game after time.
Yeah.
But so that's what we're going to be stuck with, and I'm wondering if it's even that the version of the game that he's in. I presume it is, but again, no DJ, no Guile, no Fei Long, no T-Hawk.
No T-Hawk. Mm-mm.
Akuma was a base character, right?
Yeah, Akuma was a base character. No, you probably think of like Evil Ryu, I think.
Oh, Evil Ryu, yeah. That
Evil Ryu wasn't present.
That's it.
Until the console version.
Yeah.
He even had his own theme song in the arcade version that was like unused.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, Capcom, if you want an extra $25 out of me, you give us the freaking console DLC, and I'm in.
Console Alpha 3 DLC for Upper?
Well, for Upper, Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold.
Oh, yeah, they didn't even put it Alpha 2 Gold.
No,
Alpha 2.
It's just Alpha 2. HDR. That's pretty much it, I guess. All the console dip switch stuff, like for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Well, they probably do it for. Well, I don't know what it would be for. I guess like for event mode, but Second Impact they had a widescreen mode, so that would be nice. They add that for Second Impact.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, that occurred to me. What was it, like Monday or Tuesday? I'm sitting at work and I'm sitting there at work typing something, and it just hit me for some reason. Wait a minute, we're getting the arcade version of these games. Damn it!
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know why it just occurred to me. It was like I'm excited about it and everything, and play the older Street Fighters, and then it's like, oh, but we get the bad version. This is like when they released the arcade version of Darkstalkers 3.
Mm.
Nobody wanted the arcade version of Darkstalkers 3. The console version was so much. And why didn't they just release the what did they call it? The Dark Tower, or not the Dark Tower? Demon Tower, something like that. The old Dreamcast game that had like every character in it, and you could change, how the game worked depending on which version of the game engine you picked. But it still had every character in it.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they just release that game? No, let's release the arcade version of Darkstalkers 2 and 3, the versions nobody wanted to play. Oh, nobody bought this. I guess nobody wants Darkstalkers. Why do you do that?
Mm.
I don't mean to yell. It just
it
just makes me mad. Just makes me mad. Why don't you just release the best version of the game?
I still think the funniest thing was Vampire Savior's updated patch for the arcade version. I was telling you about one time. So it was the one where the life bars turn blue. That's like the big indication to know that's the latest. That was their updated patch that nobody really cared for, as far as I know. Nobody liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But they made updated change for that. But not only that, the best part, they just switch characters. So it's like, I think I forgot who was I had bad memory for who was the replacements, but I think like John Taliban was like one of the replacement characters for someone in the game, or something like that.
Really?
And like Taliban was the wolf guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think he was originally in the Vampire Savior that we know, the third in the series.
Right? I don't know. It's been a while now. I remember being just completely perplexed by why. Dude, what's the dude with the sword and the little girl?
The sword and the little girl.
Yeah. Dang it.
I know the little girl was BB Hood.
No, not her. Um, the dude with the beads and the sword with the face and the little creepy little girl that goes around with him. She was a hidden character in MVC1. She was also an assist too. God bless her. What is his name? Starts with a D, I think.
Donovan?
Donovan. Yeah. I see
Yeah.
Sam there. Yeah. He was only in the second game. He wasn't in the original version of 3.
Yeah, and
He was introduced in Hunter, but then when Savior came out, he wasn't in it. And I remember seeing that game in the arcade and thinking, why is Donovan not here? Just didn't make any sense. He's one of the coolest characters you ever had, and you just take him out of it. But then when the console version of 3 came out, they put everybody back in the game.
That was weird.
And then when they re-released the games, what do? They released the inferior arcade version.
Okay. Yes, that's what happened. So, the original Vampire Savior, yeah, John Talbot was in it. But on the updated version, they removed him and they put Donovan in it.
So they removed Talbane to put Donovan back in it.
Yeah, on the updated Blue Life Bar version of the game.
That's weird.
Yeah, so it's like they couldn't add the characters; they had to swap characters out. So it was like weird.
It must have been a
data storage issue.
Yeah, but they only really had room for one more. But when it was on console, it was on a disc, so they had infinitely more space or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's not the PlayStation 1 version.
Yeah. Well, it was the old CPS2 board, so it might have been, and the backgrounds in that game were pretty complicated. Detail, I wonder if that with the high quality audio and everything just ate up a lot of space, and they're like, hey, look, we just don't have enough room for any more characters. And then I bet you anything, folks really complained when they took out the coolest character they ever had for seemingly no reason. So it's like, well, what character do folks not like? They don't like the wolf guy. Get him out of there. Which I'm kind of surprised. Why wouldn't they take the fish guy out? I cared about him.
I didn't know there was a fish guy, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
The green fish guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Dang it, what's his name? It's 2 names because most characters had a Japanese and an American name. But either way, yeah, you know, I don't think folks would have been too upset if you took him out of the game. Just leave the nude cat girl alone, okay? I think we're all good with that. So yeah, I just wanted to get that rant off about Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. But at least we'll have Street Fighter 1 to play. At least there's that. Now I wonder if they're going to go back and make it playable. Or is it just going to be exactly the same as it was, and you really got to try to throw a fireball that takes away 80% of your opponent's life or something. One hit kills if you manage to pull off a hurricane kick. We'll see.
There's no training mode either.
Yep.
Yeah,
well, no, yeah. They put the training mode back into all the games that are going to have the online modes.
So those 4 games are pretty much going to be like their Xbox Live or Sony PSN versions of the specific games, I guess.
Well, for the online, yeah, and even on the Switch too. So the online games are.
Arcade Perfect's going to be Third Strike because, from what I remember, the color for like Aegis Reflector for Urian was like different, but in the it was different in the arcade version, but in console version and stuff, and even like in the early patches of Third Strike, and the next gen. Well, I don't know if they're really considered next gen now. They're like just previous generation consoles, they still had the console color palette for the Vegas reflector for player 1 and player 2. So it wasn't arcade perfect. But I think they changed it late. I think they changed it the very last minute though.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see all this stuff soon when it comes out. But
Yep.
But yeah, the arcade games are Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3,
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Was there was there one more or just those three? Guess
I
it
thought
was
there
just
was
those
4
three.
games.
I thought it was 4 too.
No, it ain't Alpha 2.
No, it was definitely Alpha 2. What did we forget?
Because I know people
It's
were
not Street
complaining
Fighter
about
1.
Alpha 2. Yeah, there's no way it could be Alpha 1. If it couldn't be Alpha 2, it couldn't be Alpha 1.
No, I mean like Street Fighter 1. Imagine that.
Oh, yeah, that would surprise me if of all the games they want to put online. Yeah, put that one online.
Yeah, that
Anyone
would
can play
that would just be hilarious.
Easy money.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. But you know, as far as the collection goes, and for $40, that's pretty good still. Oh, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, and then Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because those two games are vaguely, well, not I wouldn't say vaguely, but they're pretty different.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so basically, Street Fighter 2 Turbo and then Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo are both online. Street Fighter Alpha 3 and then Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. That's it. I wonder how hard it's going to be to unlock all this artwork and stuff.
I want the EX games to be on it. Why aren't they there?
Well, because EX is coming out with their own game at some point. Have they given a release date for that yet?
Yeah, they did. I think so.
You know when it is?
I just completely lost track of it, but I am aware that they gave a date. I'm gonna look at it right now. Fighting Layer EX release date.
Because I can't wait for that game. The beta version was really fun.
June 2018.
Oh, so it's June. Okay.
They didn't give a date though. I thought they did.
Yeah, I didn't remember them giving a date. I remember they gave like a range, like when they were planning to release it. But I don't think they've given an actual date yet. And what is it? So if they reach a certain sales goal, then they'll go back and add some more characters to it. Basically, the base
PC version.
Yeah. So basically, they'll add the characters that were in older games that aren't in the game now.
Likely, I think so.
Yeah. So Pullum Perna.
Yeah.
Volcano Russo. No, he's already in it, right? No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Yeah. So
that's the teased. You're talking about the teased images, right? Probably.
Well, I mean, they pretty much showed them.
Yeah. Like they showed the characters that were going to be in it, but
they're going to be DLC if it reaches a sales goal. Those Volcano, Pullum area, and then was it two or three new characters? Or was there one more? Was there one more older character that I'm missing? I know it was those three. Sharon?
Maybe.
Possibly Sharon, if they added in. Because I remember when they showed it, I was like, oh, good, they're putting all the other characters that were in other games in there.
Yeah, it's Sharon. So
it is Sharon. Yeah. So. So I just got to make sure to buy about eight copies of that game. Well, actually, no. I only really care about of all the DLC characters, and then I think it's two other brand new characters after that. The only of the DLC characters that I really care about is
Pullum.
Yeah. I hate Sharon. Screw Sharon, and the only reason I hate Sharon is because they
replaced
Blair Dame.
Yep.
It's like, this is Blair Dame's sister, who plays nothing like Blair Dame, who's trying to find Blair Dame and apparently never does because Blair Dame never showed back up again.
Yep.
She had her
Mm.
own game on the
Oh yeah.
Dreamcast. Only came out in Japan apparently. I kept trying. That's one of the few games I never found back in my old when we used to download games
What
and
game was
stuff.
that?
I can't remember what it's called now. I used to know it by heart because I tried to find a ROM for that game everywhere I could.
Because that was an adventure game, right? I think.
Yeah.
Or like an action adventure game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was in that, and then she was also in See, I thought the original drop was because of fighting Lair, the original, because that one was Alan and Blair. Both of those two were in that game, and both of them were not in EX2. So I just assumed that because of that, they just left Street Fighter series of the EX and went on to Fighting Lair.
Is that what the game was called?
That's the fighting game, though. I think you might be talking
Oh,
about
the
the
other fighting game.
adventure
Yeah. I'm talking about the adventure game. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think I heard of that. I just never really looked into it.
I can't remember the name of it now, but I knew it back then, like 15 years ago when I was trying to find it. I was like, "Where's Blair Dame? Damn it!"
Didn't Cammy had something like that too?
Cammy had her own game on Dreamcast.
Yeah, those
Cannon
two
Spike.
stuff. Yeah, I never heard of that until like months ago. Like I wasn't aware that was a thing before both Cammy and Blair Dane's games. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, Cannon Spike. I have that game. I believe I actually have
So
a
are they
disc
like
for it.
poverty games? Like do they feel fun or they
It
feel
was
really
actually pretty
bad?
fun. Cannon Spike was more of a oh god, it's been years since I played it, but I almost want to say it was like a shoot 'em up game almost. They were all like, it was her and other folks from Delta Red, and they were on like these, if I remember correctly, like these little, like almost like skateboards that they laid on with guns,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of went across the screen shooting at stuff.
Hmm.
It's kind of weird, but it was actually pretty fun from what I recall anyway.
I may have to give it a shot. If it's like the older style games, I guess, where it's like they're not as fully developed, but they definitely have that gamey, like poverty game style feel, I guess. I don't know how to properly
More of an arcade.
phrase it.
It's like an
Yeah.
arcade feel, yeah.
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 I don't know if you remember like a game like Fighting Force or something like that.
Uh
Would it feel something like that?
huh.
For
Like
for 1 or 2, Fighting Force 1 or 2. I know they're like vastly different, but like if it feels anything like those two, where it's like that kind of style, I mean, I'm okay with that.
I can't remember. Now, I may be remembering the game completely differently, but I feel like it was like a shooter or something like that. Now, I remember after that, that's when they changed Cammy's moves names. That's when the thrust kick became a cannon spike, but all of a sudden the cannon drill became a spiral arrow. It's like, well, why did they do that? It's just kind of weird, but dang it, now you're gonna make me look up the whole thing. Cannon spike. Let's see if it's as what I remember it being. Yeah, kind of. It was almost like a twin stick shooter, wasn't it? Obviously, there was no twin sticks. Yeah, I'm looking at screenshots of it, and it was definitely like, I remember it was like shoot 'em up type feel, because there was like bullet hell almost kind of stuff flying everywhere. That's what it was. She was on skates, and everybody had guns. Yeah. I recall it being fun. Charlie was in it? I don't remember that. I remember Arthur, the dude in the armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember Charlie being in it. Interesting. It's been years since I played that game, though. Years and years. And one day I'll hook up the old Dreamcast and start playing some of these old games. I'll have a whole night of nothing but, what's the game I always say is kind of a joke, but I'm also kind of serious. The mech game.
Oh, I
Tech
think I know what you're talking.
Romancer.
Tech Romancer. Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what other stuff has happened since the last time we've been on. Blanca and Falk came out.
Yeah. Have you seen Falk's new animation? Well, I don't want to say new animation. Her stand. What was it? Fly kick, I think.
What about it?
No, oh no, it's stand jab, I think. It's the one where she like, it looks like she stands still and just moves her little arm.
Oh yeah. Kind of like Cammy's duck and light kick, where her leg just kind of flaps out.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
It feels like there was like no effort on it.
Yeah, I know when it comes to Falk, a lot of folks kind of talk about how bland and plain she kind of feels. I think that's kind of the point of her character, though.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. She's kind of no nonsense, utilitarian type. She's German, so everything is just plain and works. So I think that's what they were going for with her. But I think they might have overdid it a little bit. From the way she talks. Some of her moves are pretty flashy. I like when she pops her V-trigger 2. How it does the whole thing and she sticks it up and you can blast you up in the air and you can super after it. That's kind of cool. But Lord forbid that thing gets blocked, she is dead. I played a guy online, super platinum, and he should have won that match, but for some reason he just pulled that out of nowhere and I blocked it and I'm like, why did you do that? Now I'm gonna combo you and you're dead. So not good thing to do. A lot of folks don't think she's like good at all. I think she's okay. I mean, she's not great.
She's better than Ryu. That's not saying much, though.
Yeah. But again, that goes back to the thing where, everybody's starting to bring up the fact that none of the DLC characters are particularly great. I guess besides Abigail. Akuma's okay. Everybody just kind of seems to skim over him.
Mm-hmm.
So, for some reason. But again, I also think Capcom probably intentionally did that so they wouldn't be accused of doing a whole pay-to-win thing. So,
I don't know. I never had a problem with pay-to-win DLC stuff.
Well, of course not.
But it depends. It depends on what they do, though. Like if it's like a cross-second pay-to-win thing, that's not right. Because you can't use that in tournaments. This is like you use in tournaments. It's fair game, right?
Yeah,
anyone can use them.
You can afford it
if you got the money, at least.
Yeah. So that's why you go to events where dumb saps like me spend hundreds and thousands of bucks every year buying DLC for games that nobody will come out and play.
Well, yeah.
But
for anime games, I guess.
Whatever.
And stuff like that. Tekken 2.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we got a ton of anime games coming out.
Yeah, speaking of anime games, just try to get like the last topic with Cross Tag Battle.
Oh yeah. I pre-ordered the game. Hadn't had time to play the demo of it yet. I'll probably play it tomorrow when I get some time.
I'm gonna play it at 4 a.m. tonight, I think.
Specifically at 4 a.m. tonight?
Yeah, because that's when it opens up, I hear.
Oh, for everybody else?
I believe so. I'm gonna double check because I think I just got the Malaysian time to Eastern rather than Central. I might be wrong on that. 4 p.m. Yeah, I'm wrong. It's actually 3 a.m. So that's actually good, better. So 3 a.m.
Are you gonna stay up to 3 a.m. or go to sleep and set your alarm for 3 a.m.?
Depends. I think I'm just gonna stay up.
Yeah, have fun with that. I'm probably going to bed as soon as we're done here.
Yeah.
You'll be old like me one day too.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that happened in Street Fighter. We talked about Street Fighter Anniversary. You were talking about the Mortal Kombat tease, which I haven't really seen yet, but um,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about that earlier, and yeah, wouldn't it be awesome if it wasn't for Mortal Kombat XI or whatever they're going to call it? Wouldn't it be awesome if it was for Shaolin Monks 2?
Man, let me tell you, I would actually hate it if it's a new Mortal Kombat fighting game.
Really?
I think I actually got tired of it.
I mean, yeah.
The new Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
fighting game.
To be honest, they probably could skip a year, and I think
Because
everybody would be okay.
because think of it this way: if there is a new Mortal Kombat fighting game, it's you're technically getting a new Mortal Kombat on the PS4.
Yeah.
You know, and there already is a Mortal Kombat. I don't know, the way I see
Yeah,
it
but
is
I
like,
mean, it's been what, 3 years?
yeah, but still, to me, I see it as like something like, I guess because I look over for like games like Street Fighter and maybe even Tekken,
Hmm.
but it's like I just feel like there should be like one fighting game that sticks with that system, and if there's gonna be a new mainline game, it'd be on a next gen system.
Mm, I
Because it was
mean,
like that for Street Fighter kind of, and Tekken was like that until Tag. Well, Tekken
it
4 and 5 was like that, but Tekken 4 was kind of almost like a
four
build up
was
to Tekken 5.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you actually
Four,
look into the
four,
files,
four.
they had like a lot of Tekken 5, like they had like Jinpachi voices and all that, like in Tekken 4 in the
Hmm.
arcade version. And
Yeah,
they just scrapped that on the PS2 version for some reason.
yeah,
I guess they didn't want people to find that out.
probably.
But
It's when dorks like you would actually start to do that kind of stuff, and they're like, you know what?
did you even see I did that?
You did?
The whole voice things
For what?
for Tekken 4 for
Did,
Namco System. What is
no,
it? 246. I don't know what it is.
no.
Yeah, this is something I did like a couple of months ago, leaking like the voices for the arcade version of Tekken 4.
Oh, hey, real quick, Sam wanted me to ask you what do you think of Ken's Trigger 2?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff he asked on just now. I just read it just now. Could I go from the top? I'm gonna do the top right quick where he says like, "Oh, why buy that when you have Fightcade?" You want to answer that, Nolan?
Why buy what?
Why buy? I guess he's talking about Anniversary Collection.
Oh,
Why buy that when you have
I
Fightcade?
mean, uh, it depends on you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Casual audience will probably just eat it up, I think.
yeah, it'd be nice to have them all collected, in one place where you don't have to worry about downloading drivers. So make sure your controller works, or something like that. Just have it all in one place on a console. There are folks that do that.
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, you're right, but you can say that about just about any kind of collection of old games. You look at every time they release, like the old, like Streets of Rage and Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff like that, and everybody always goes, well, I already have an emulator later on my cell phone that has all these games. Well, that's nice. I want to be able to sit on my couch and play these games too, and I may not have the old ones. That's why they release them. That's why folks buy them. But yeah, you're right. You don't have to. You can keep playing the emulator.
And you can play it online. It's an advantage, apparently, for like the games that are not of those 4 games.
Those 4 games, yeah, that you can't play online. Yeah. Well,
so I don't imagine why would you have fun with Street Fighter 1. That game had the strictest inputs of all time.
I know. But, obviously it was the game that kind of forced them to make Street Fighter 2, which introduced, the systems that basically every game after it uses.
Yep.
So,
below. Oh yeah, that Ken Monster Hunter armor. So, at least this is the temporary fix for the paper bag in the face for Ken. This is great. This is the greatest costume
I forgot
think they
about
ever
that.
did
You're
for
right.
Ken.
It does cover up his face, doesn't it? Yeah.
This is probably his best costume.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad for TOs if they never got the costume.
Oh.
You can't buy it.
Yet.
Yeah. So I don't know how they're gonna handle that.
I thought I heard that eventually you'll be able to buy those costumes with fight money over a period of time. I heard that somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I heard. I think I have all those costumes so far. Every one they've released so far. Yeah, every weekend, every Saturday morning. Actually, I wake up when I wake up early on Saturday mornings. I'll run to all three of my accounts, 4 accounts actually, and I'll go ahead and do the I'll go ahead and do whatever the weekend challenge, if it's like a gold soldier or something to get some fight money, and then I'll do the costume thing when everyone's going. That's every Saturday and or Sunday morning. Every week. I try to do that. Yeah, it's cool to have 6 PlayStation 4s until you have to update all the games for them, or do stuff like that. So because you know there's going to be that one guy who's going to complain that you don't have Ken's Monster Hunter armor. You don't have the armor? Man, I can't play all these games all the time. I ain't got time for that. Damn it.
Do you have the Ken's costume, Nolan?
I do.
Oh, for all of them?
On all the Fight Club accounts, yeah. I've got the Ken costume. I got the Forgotten Soldier costume. I got every costume that's come out so far. I've got them. Well, I think except for one. No, my newest account. I don't have whatever the first 2 costumes were. So I don't have the Armika costume or the Ibuki costume. There was another costume I missed too, because I just got that PlayStation. That was my 5th and 6th PlayStation I got. So costumes were already going on when I got those costumes, so I didn't bother spending the fight money on that. But I've gotten the costumes since then.
This would be one of those guys that complains that you don't have the costume for it.
Yeah, well,
I can't do my combos without specific visual cues in the costume.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, I used to do that with Ryu for Street Fighter 4, where it's like I look at the headband and I'm doing a throw setup, and if the headband, the tail end of the headband ever reaches Ryu's eyes, I think, when walking back, that's like the perfect time to do stand sword into a cross up, which is really like a really ambiguous 50-50.
God, you're a dork.
I don't think it's like I don't think I have any of that in Street Fighter 5 though with Ken, so I'm not gonna be complaining about that.
It's just this man. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I stopped taking this crap so serious. If I'm looking at somebody's headband to see if it's crossing his brow before I do a throw, I'm taking this crap way too seriously. I just don't do that anymore, man. I used to, if I came up when I was younger, now I'd be you. Trust me. But when we were young, that stuff wasn't out there. I mean, it kind of was, but not in our area, and the internet didn't exist, so it wasn't like everybody was sharing info freely and everything. You had to drive to different arcades to find other stuff. But
I think it's hard to visualize too, because of those CRT monitors, like somewhere like kind of like not that good quality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Freaking. Anyway, freaking headband.
Ken's V-Trigger 2, I guess.
Killing me. Sure.
I still don't think it's worth it.
They actually made it worse, right?
I think they made it better.
I mean, it was almost birthed because, like, they made it easier to combo out of, from what I understand. Yeah, but it doesn't do as much damage.
Yeah.
I think I prefer to have the damage back because you could do enough out of it, as it were. But I think now they made it easier to do something after it, I guess, kind of to make up, which is probably why it doesn't hurt as much as it used to, because you have more opportunities to do something after it now.
Yeah. I still don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I fought one guy online who used it, and he was using it pretty good too. But shoot, when I was testing it out, I actually enjoyed it. But I'm me, so I'm not good.
You got third. You got third at the
Oh yeah,
one
that's right.
event.
Yeah, that's true. I'm the third best Street Fighter player in the in the Florida Panhandle.
Yeah. That's something not to be taken lightly.
That's right, man. Hey, I'll take what I can get. Okay. Did you see when the whole Smash announcement happened? I think that happened right after our last Fightcast.
About the Smash announcement. What about it?
Yeah. Did you actually see did you watch that Nintendo Direct?
I didn't watch the whole. I didn't really watch the Nintendo Direct presentation at all,
Yeah.
but I did see that Smash trailer.
Yeah. See, I watched the Direct because I'm a Nintendo fanboy. But either way, I remember leading up to it, thinking in the back of my head, it's like, okay, are they finally going to announce Smash? But then the whole Splatoon thing kind of happened because they had just spent the last 10 minutes before that talking about the expansion pack for Splatoon 2. And then he goes, oh, and there's one more thing, but then they're showing the Splatoon characters. So I'm sitting in my chair, just kind of sitting back. Oh, okay. I'm ready for them to say, oh, they're putting Splatoon 1 on the Switch, which I would have been all about actually, because I never actually got a chance to play the first game. So I'm watching it, and just a little tickle in the back of my head said, "This is Smash," and I'm like, no. I'm not going to be one of those guys who keep waiting for them to announce Smash and it doesn't happen. And so the little thing is going and going, and then the screen goes dark, and the girl's kind of looking around, and she turns around, and you see the fire and the symbol, and man, I don't know if you've seen any other reaction shots from folks seeing it the first time and everything. But yeah, I was one of those guys. I jumped up out of my chair screaming. I couldn't believe it either. It's like, it's Smash! It's Smash! It's Smash! And yeah, I'm very excited about that. I was so happy that they actually finally announced it and everything. But the way they're the way the shadows and everything, they actually found a way to make freaking Nintendo characters look brooding and scary. This is kind of funny to me too. But I can tell you right now, when they show the game at E3, Ridley or I riot. Ridley or I riot. Just putting that out there. So I don't know how big into Smash you are, but
what's a Ridley?
Oh my God, you are the non-geekiest geek I have ever met. You're a dork. That's what you are. You aren't a geek. You're a dork. You're not even a nerd. You're just a straight dork. It's like, do you know anything? Anyway, Ridley, this like one of the bad guys from the
Batman.
Not Batman. Metroid. Metroid. It's Samus's arch enemy.
Say that first. Is
that
the guy from Batman?
Yeah. It's Samus's arch enemy from the Metroid games. I mean, it makes sense that you can't really put Mother Brain in the game, although she was an assist trophy in the last one, which was cool. But and folks keep saying, well, Ridley would be too big. Whatever. He can be shrunk down. Make him the old NES version of it. Where he was the same size as you. Because, Kraid was in the game. I guess technically Ridley was in the Wii U version, too. He was technically in the background. In the other M background for Smash Wii U. So, but I still want Ridley as a playable character. Obviously, the Squid Kids are going to be in it. And, like I said, I don't know how much you know about Nintendo stuff or Smash stuff, but it's like anything you're looking forward to, like any other characters you might want to see in it or whatever, even guest character wise.
Well, there's no chance for Snake coming back.
There could be.
Nah, not with whole Konami issues.
Yeah, but Konami might want to throw him out there just to be like, hey, we still exist, guys. If Konami puts anybody in it, though, I want freaking 8-bit um, uh, Simon Belmont. I want Simon Belmont in it. That's the Konami character that I want in it. I remember when they put Snake in what was that Brawl,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember thinking,
That's
oh yeah, Snake,
Castlevania, right?
that's kind of cool, huh?
Castlevania is Simon, right?
Yeah. I remember thinking that's kind of cool, but Simon Belmont would have been a better fit. Even uh Trevor Belmont would have been good. He was in Castlevania 3. That was an old Nintendo game. You know, it would have been cool. I doubt they would have put like anybody from Symphony of the Night or anything, because that was mostly a PlayStation game. Although you can get it on everything now. But yeah, Konami wise, he would be awesome. Pac-Man's finally in it, so I can finally stop asking for that. I'm worried about how many of the guest characters are coming back. Because it's like Sonic's been in every game since he was introduced to it. You almost have to have him now.
Yeah, he's probably going to be in likely.
I will be very upset if Pac-Man's not back in it again. You can get rid of half of the Fire Emblem cast. There were way too many of them in the last game. Way too many. When they announced those that one of the last characters was a Fire Emblem character, I remember before they showed it, I jokingly said it's going to be a Fire Emblem character, and damn it if it wasn't another Fire Emblem character. So
people like that game.
Yeah.
They're gonna probably put more in that for this one too.
God, I hope not. I mean, okay, if you're gonna put other Fire Emblem characters in the game, fine. Put Lyn in the game, but take out the rest of them. You know, leave in the basic two. Maybe one of the guys from like the last game. Put Lindis in the game, and then that's it. No more. No more. We don't need any more Fire Emblem characters. Let's see, what else? Yeah, okay. I feel like she's going to end up being in this game because her third game, they should be talking about it this year at E3 too. If Bayonetta is not in that game, I'm not buying it. Period.
In Smash?
Yeah. She needs to be like a base character. Period.
I think you'll buy it anyways.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy it anyways. But still, I'll be very upset when I'm standing in line the day the game comes out. That's right, because I'm buying the cart version because I'm an old man. Plus, I don't have an SD card for my Switch yet. But yeah, I feel like she has to be in it too. And I feel like there's a good chance that she'll be back, even though a lot of folks don't want her back because they think she's too good or broken or whatnot. So, whatever. Obviously, the link that they showed in the original teaser was the link from Breath of the Wild. So I wonder if we're getting different versions of Link. If we're getting Toon Link, if we're getting Breath of the Wild Link, if we're getting Teen Link, if we're getting Kid Link, stuff like that.
Yeah, I forgot fan service was in that game too.
Yeah. See, to me, that's all the game is. Like I was talking to the guy up there. It was like I didn't really know competitive Smash existed till about 5 years ago. To me, Smash was just a game I played for fun. For the childhood dreams of seeing Kirby and Pac-Man fight.
Right.
And see who eats the other one first. That's all I ever wanted out of Smash. Just kind of dream fight things, and then all of a sudden I was like, what? Folks actually play this like folks play Street Fighter, and I watched it. I'm like, whoa, that doesn't look like Smash at all. This is a whole completely different beast. And I enjoy it now, but I can't play it that way. It just makes me cringe every time they fighting like off the side of the stage, and all I'm thinking is get back on the stage. What are you doing?
You mean like the ledge climbing stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be like dueling and fighting each other, and they're about to fall off the bottom of the screen, and then they'll both whoop right back up. And
there's like some weird ledge stuff that like I'm not even aware how it fully works because
me either.
I'm not really a Smash player. So
Yeah, and I'm not a Smash player like that. I just play it for fun. So, but I do enjoy to watch it, especially really good Smash players watching them play it. I do enjoy it. But I can't wait for that. But doggone it, I swear to God, Ridley, or I won't even pre-order that game. I'm just going to buy it the day it comes out.
So, Ridley's a boss in the original Metroid?
And pretty much all of them, yeah. In the lore, Ridley was the one that actually attacked Samus's home world and killed everybody she's ever known and loved.
I didn't even know that. I only played the original Metroid on the NES.
Yeah, there was a comic that explained her backstory, and it's supposedly supposed to be canon. So
did the booklet of the NES cartridge even talked about like? Because I'm pretty sure it did. Samus. I think it mentioned about Samus. So I just don't remember the words Ridley.
Yeah, I think it did. I'm not sure though, but I want to say it did. So, but
and
definitely,
that game was
beatable?
And that game was beatable too.
The first one, yeah.
Because it always felt like you were just going to places, but I just never know where you were actually going.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the game. It was the first game of its type. Kind of. Folks call it a Metroidvania type of games now, which to older folks like me, I hate it when they added that last part to it because it's just a Metroid game to me. Castlevania Symphony of the Night wouldn't have done what it did if it wasn't for the original Metroid games. But anyway, so yeah, basically any game that follows that thing where you start off as a character and you gain abilities and equipment throughout the game that unlocks different areas of the map that you couldn't get to before, and having to backtrack because you couldn't go through this grate before you couldn't turn to smoke, or you didn't have bombs, so you couldn't blow up this wall, and once you do, you go back to the wall that you couldn't blow up before, you blow it up, and a whole different part of the world opens up, stuff like that. Yeah,
and there was a part where like her helmet come off, and I didn't get what was that symbolized for.
See, in the original game, so this was 86, something like that, when the original game came out.
I was born.
And oh God, shut up. But folks are playing that game the first time. Like me, as a little kid, and you're thinking this is the awesomest spaceman ever, and then you finish the game. And there's the awesome spaceman standing there, and he takes his helmet off, and it's a girl. It's like, what? Samus is a girl? That's awesome. It was kind of a big deal at the time because, video games were still kind of a newfangled thing, especially, in the time of the NES when Nintendo was bringing video games back from the whole crash, from the old Atari days and everything. But, just the idea that it was a girl at the time was just like, it was just like a surprise. And you only found out once you beat the game, and then you went to school and told all your friends, and they were like, no, he's not. And then they beat the game. It's like, oh my God, it is a girl. And if you beat the game fast enough, she took off her armor too, and she was in a bikini. Like,
wait. There's a time thing too.
Yeah. If you beat the game fast enough, she would. Yeah, at the end scene, if you just beat the game at the end scene, Samus would be standing there, and then the helmet would come off, and you see the hair flowing behind her, and you realize it was a girl. If you beat it at under a certain amount of time, then instead of just the helmet coming off, the helmet and the armor would come off, and she'd be standing there in a big bikini. Because it was still the 80s, and even though we got a girl power thing going on, she still had to be in a bikini under all that stuff because she's a hot girl.
I respect that.
But I do recall seeing that first time as a kid, and it just blowing my mind. It's like this whole time I've been playing with a girl.
But do you play with the? I thought from what I remember you were able to play with the mask off.
No, I mean
No.
you might have played different versions of the game where they added something like that to it or had a code or something like that, but not
Yeah, I thought there was like a code that had the head off or something.
not. They may have been. If there was, we didn't have it.
I want to search it up right now. And we're getting off topic.
Well, we're still kind of.
It is Smash.
Yeah. We're talking about Smash, so. But you started asking about Metroid, and I'm a huge Metroid fan. Which, by the way, if they better be showing Prime 4 at E3 too. I'm anxious to see that, especially since Namco is going to apparently be making the game, and not what's the name of the company that made the first three? Retro. Because they're probably working on a new Donkey Kong game, if I had to guess. Or maybe, hopefully, Eternal Darkness 2. But I doubt that's happening. That would be cool, but it's probably not happening. So, while you look that up, let's talk about Soul Calibur real quick. So,
yeah, it exists.
Yeah, it exists. It looks like it's basically a
it's not only
reboot.
That, there's like suitless.
That you can actually play with?
Yeah, there's a suitless Samus too.
Huh.
Yeah.
You got to put in a code for that, I presume.
Yeah, it's a code.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me back in the day of the little book club thing that you could order when we were in middle school.
You mean the Nintendo Power thing?
No. It was like you could order like actual books, but the only books everybody would order out of that book would be the Blaster Master book and the like 1,000 codes for NES games book. I remember that like it was yesterday. Everybody wanted either the Blaster Master book, which I never played Blaster Master. Everybody else did, but we just never played the game. But everybody loved it. And the book that had all the cheat codes for all the NES codes. It was like 1,000 codes in that book. And somebody had it, and we, everybody just kind of share it around, hand it around. Hey, you got the code book? Yeah, I want to see if there's anything for Iron Sword 2. Nope.
The worst would happen is if there was a game with no codes.
You just had to play the game. Pretty much like it is now. I keep forgetting we live in an era where the Game Shark doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah, that's actually unfortunate. Well, no, PC games you can use Cheat Engine.
Well, yeah, PC games, but like consoles.
I had so much fun messing with Cheat Engine just to get codes for like some games.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just brings back memories.
We used to just type in a random code into the Game Shark to see what it would do to games.
Yeah.
And we wrote down some codes that like for Street Fighter 2 that made the game like all kinds of like crazy and messed up, but it was actually kind of cool.
Oh, you were part of that meta too?
Yeah. I mean, we used to just put in random codes, and all of a sudden, Dawson would have a move where he would do a Yoga Flame, but he'd turn into the Yoga Flame under the ground and go across the screen, and you couldn't block it.
Wow.
Ken,
those are my kind of codes.
Yeah, Ken had like bright red hair and like rainbow colored clothes.
Did you submit these to like somewhere?
No, not really.
I think I ended up doing for one.
But we did write them down, and we put the codes in whenever we wanted to just have fun. Let's see, there was a Guile. What did Guile do? It was something weird with his sonic boom, but I remember the audio. He would say "boom, Ken." It was so weird. Ryu would throw a fireball, but like 4 more fireballs would appear on top of it, so it was just like a wave of fireballs coming across the screen. Man, I wonder if we still got those codes somewhere around. I doubt it, but yeah, that used to be fun.
I used to do that with Mortal Kombat, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did that for 2 and 3. Where I think in the third game, we figured out how to get like Chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I found out Chameleon or not. Because people had like the code to like have Shao Kahn and Motaro and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if people had the chameleon code going. But I don't know if I found it or not. But oh well, I had like a easy character select thing going where you could put like wherever. Nah, that was just. I think all I did was make like a simplified version of like a character select code where you can put like wherever you're highlighting, it'll change that character.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing was like a really fast recovery animation. So it's like you can do like uppercut into uppercut or something like that, and like you can do like multiple fireballs in one. So it's like a turbo. It was like a turbo kind of style.
Uh-huh.
Mortal Kombat 2, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be broken. But
Yeah, it was good old days. Kids these days don't
Can't
know
do it
what
no
it was
more.
like to have a Game Shark. And either put in codes where you can easily beat, the end boss of Final Fantasy 2, or, just
How about
try to
Battletoads?
make up your own codes and do all kinds of crazy crap.
How about Battletoads? A game that seems really hard to beat.
Oh God, Battletoads! Don't even get me started. Even with the freaking Game Shark, that game was still dang near impossible. Because it turns out having infinite lives and not being able to be hurt wouldn't really help you on the stage where you have to beat the stupid rat going down the screen or up the screen. The races were the worst. The worst. And then I just remember fighting the end boss and thinking I'm invincible and I can still barely do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. The game was so hard. So hard. But it was very good. Yep. So
that happened to me one time with the something where like a Game Genie cheat just went backwards in my favor. I think there were two games that did that. I think it was Mario 3 and Ninja Turtles 1.
Oh God!
So
that first
Mario,
one on the console.
Mario 3, yeah, in Mario, yeah. And what about for Ninja Turtles?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, for Mario 3, I remember, you had to hold something once you beat the final boss, I think, and if you didn't, the game would freeze. So it's you couldn't see the credits, the ending at all.
Huh.
Yeah, there was a little weird thing going where it's with some certain code activated, it would have the pause thing activated once you went to that final door, once you beat the final boss. It would just freeze the game there, and they say you were supposed to do something prior. I think that was I think you had to hold a pause button or something like that before that even happens.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, then it pretty much frozen the game with just constant pausing, and you couldn't do anything about it. You had to reset the game.
Huh.
And the other thing was Ninja Turtles 1 on the final boss, which was, even though he was easy, it was funny because we put the invincibility code on,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, and this is gonna be easy, just hit away. All of a sudden, I saw him shoot a laser beam, and I noticed it turned the turtle to a tiny turtle, and then I lost the character. I'm like, wait, he's not invincible? And I lost 2 lives, so it's I had to probably get to be worried about that kind of stuff, because you can also fall and lose in character, I believe, too, in that game. So those are the kind of stuff I had to concern about, but yeah. That was interesting.
The good old days, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, pretty much out of stuff to talk about at this point. Let's see if we got any questions here. Oh, we do have questions. Oh, Lord.
I think we rust on cross tag battle.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't really have anything to say about it because, well, I did play, I played a little bit of Blaze Blue. Very little bit of Blaze Blue. I never played Persona, even though we held an event for it, and I was sitting right next to it, and I still never played the game. Never was into whatchamacallit that much.
Other night?
No. I played that game when it first came out on PS3.
Mm-hmm.
I actually played a lot of that, so I know those characters at least. I know some of the Blaze Blue characters. That's about it, though. I'm not familiar with any of the Persona characters. I'm not really familiar with Ruby. I saw like the first episode of the anime, and that was about it.
I didn't watch any Ruby episode.
Yeah, so don't really know anything about that.
They're just really good characters in game. That's all I know.
Yeah,
and I hear their sprite work's different. Like their sprite quality is like really like high quality compared to like the Blaze Blue Persona sprites.
Well, yeah, because those were the sprites they had to draw from scratch.
Right.
The other ones basically come straight from their games.
Yeah, old 720p sprites.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that's like what 1080p sprites now.
Maybe, I don't know,
or maybe higher. I don't know. But yeah, they look much cleaner from what I hear. I didn't get to look at them well enough to. But supposedly those two are really strong. And yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to go in Evo.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the downside of things, thinking that I feel like the game's not going to go get too far.
That probably not, but
because to me it's just like that typical like anime community style game where it's like,
yeah,
it may be okay at the start, and people will probably like,
yeah, they'll jump on it, just try something new, but
yeah,
and then they'll just kind of, you'll only get the diehards playing it after that, which won't be that many.
We'll see, unless they try to bring out like really interesting guest characters, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got a whole half of the cast. Have they announced the other 20 characters, or just a few of them that are coming out after launch? Okay. So anyway, so the game's coming out with 20 characters, right?
Right.
And then if you pre-order it, you get, or they're going to release 2 characters for free.
Yeah, if you pre-order, or if you order in the first week, I believe you get the 2 characters.
You get the other 2 characters for free.
Yeah.
And then they're going to do 6. Then they're going to do 6 packs of 3 characters each.
Yeah.
For $5 or $6, something like that.
Yeah.
Or you can buy the whole season pass.
Yeah.
Or you can buy the whole season pass for $20.
Yeah, $20. So the total would be like.
And the base game is $50.
Yes.
Yeah.
$49.99 or $50. Yeah. I know the game should be $70 if you do every character early.
Yeah, if you buy the season pass, or you just buy the ultimate edition, or whatever they're calling it, whatever one I got. You'll just go ahead and buy everything. So $70, or if there's only certain characters you want, you can just pick that 3-pack.
Right.
And get them that way. So a 6-pack said, I think it's $5 each. That's $30. So you save $10 just buying the season pass.
Yep. And they now have dual audio. Finally.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's cool. I was always kind of disappointed when they never went back and did that for
Dragon Ball.
Well, for Xrd.
Yeah, Xrd too. Yeah,
because the first game had it, and then the second game didn't. And they were kind of like saying, "Oh yeah, just give us a minute. We're gonna put it in." And say, "Yeah, no."
Oh, are you talking about like Revelator?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's when they completely botched the whole dub or undub. They just strictly went to Japanese, I think, right?
Yeah, that and Blaze Blue did the same thing.
Yeah, Blaze Blue at the end,
for the last one.
Time did it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was thinking of like the whole individual dual audio. Like now you can put English or Japan for characters.
Oh, choose it for specific characters.
Yeah, like in Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's
or
cool.
Marvel.
Yeah.
They never did that before, which I thought that was really neat. And something I wish they would have done for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dragon Ball is kind of weird because I think in that one you're always going to have the folks who want the Japanese, like me, or you're always going to have the folks who want the English, like some other folks. I want
to mix them both.
Yeah.
Like, I want my cell to be Japanese, but I want like Saiyans. I guess I want them to be English. I guess.
Yeah, we came up watching the fan subs of, you know, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z back in the day before anybody over here in America even knew what Dragon Ball Z was. So, you know, to us, mostly the Japanese voices are the voices I hear. Even if I watch the dub, I still hear, you know, usually the Japanese characters. The current dub cast is finally gotten good. It's a whole conversation about how Dragon Ball voices were like not good for the longest time, and then they finally started getting better.
Praises the Spanish dub over time. Like I hear a lot of people bring it up. They want the Spanish dub. Then for the English dub, there was people that want like I guess it's the Funimation dub.
Well,
what's there's two different English dubs, and I just don't remember.
Yeah, there was the Ocean dub, which was the original. That was the original dub of Z when it was out, and then when Ocean broke away, they continued to dub it, I believe, in England, but Funimation took over the dub here. So in the middle of the Frieza series, right when Goku landed on Namek, is when the new voice cast was introduced, and oh my God, were they bad! Oh my God, was it bad! You went from the Ocean dub, who were, you know, they were what they were. You know, if you enjoyed the dub, that was definitely the one to watch because they were at least relatively good actors. But you know, the show was always treated as like a small kid show, which it never really was in Japan. But that's what they tried to make it over here. Yeah. So you know, they did whatever they had to do with it and everything. But yeah, when the new dub cast came in, they were so horrible. And it's hard to believe most of them are the same ones now. They got better over time, but man, when they switched over that dub and the new cast came in, it was so bad. So bad. God, I forgot how bad it was. It's crazy. And what kills me is that, you know, some folks, that's the only dub that they've ever known, and they look back on it and think, oh, that was awesome. And you get older folks like me throwing up when they hear them say that. Whoa, what? Are you serious? Do you not hear him? He sounds terrible. They don't even know how to scream. Oh, it's like, what is that? You're not screaming, you're singing. It's so bad. Anyway.
They got better over time, though, right?
It did get better over time, yes. To the point now where when... See, I think they it's going to be a whole conversation, but I'll make it short. They picked up a cartoon that they wanted to turn into a kids show over here in America without realizing there was already a huge worldwide following of this show, including folks in America like us who had already seen the whole series years before when it aired in Japan, who understands what the show is and wouldn't accept it as anything else. And you know, it was fine for what they were trying to show it to, but you had the diehard fans that were like, you are just completely messing this show up. And you know, really, when I think back on it, you know, trying to mess it up for everybody else is like, look, it's just not for us. But no, over time, as a company, they started becoming more of an anime house, not just a kids cartoon, you know, company. They realized that, hey, you know, maybe if we cater to the diehard anime fan, it could work out. And of course, now they're huge. Because I remember the first anime that they actually treated seriously was the first anime that they treated seriously that I saw was Blue Gender. And I remember watching that show and thinking, I can't believe these are the same folks that are doing Dragon Ball Z. They're ruining Dragon Ball Z, but they're doing this show like it was an actual anime. You know, they didn't change the entire script. The acting was actually better because that was a real serious and grim show. But I would see that, and all I would think is, why can't they do this with Dragon Ball Z? It took them years before they finally came back around and started doing that with Dragon Ball Z, but they started picking up other animes, and slowly but surely they turned into a respectable anime house. And now they're like the anime house in America. So, you know,
Yep.
good for them. So, but yeah, cross tag. I'll probably have more to say about it next month whenever we talk about it, because I will have played it a little bit by then, and hopefully get into it and everything. We'll see. It should be somewhat fun. I don't know. I'll find out. All right. My eyes are getting very heavy, so we're going to go over these questions, and we're going to call it a night. If that's okay with you.
Yeah.
All right. From Ace Combat is free. Why is Ace Combat so free at Street Fighter V?
Am I free?
According to Ace Combat is
the
free.
last events, I thought I was winning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you did actually have to fight back from
losers.
Losers, yeah.
The matchup was bad too.
Yeah, the last time. So you know, you had to work for it once. So okay, so from Ace Combat continues to be free.
Yeah, sir.
Are you guys getting the Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle? And if you're getting the Switch version of the or the Lag Station 4 version of the Master Race PC version? So.
I don't know. I'm getting the PC version, but I don't like it because like we gotta wait for the whole beta period to end, and that's not going on the PC for reasons that are understandable. Because you don't want a Street Fighter V situation to happen where it's like, oh, everybody can now have it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which I mean, thought about it's probably going to happen anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is like even like technically anybody can play it. It's just, I guess they want a certain control for people, like they did it so where only pre-orders can play versus others and have with the 20 characters.
Right.
Whereas I think if it was on PC, people will find a way to play as those characters regardless without pre-ordering.
Right.
So it's like they didn't want to probably deal with all that nonsense.
Yeah.
So
the Infinite Trials.
Understandable.
Stuff. Yeah. They're like, yeah, it's the PC version. They're going to unlock the game in an hour. Let's just, whatever.
Probably going to get it late too. Because like other releases, like with Dragon Ball, it's like we had to wait like another 12 hours.
Oh yeah.
After midnight, because like Steam updates like during the day.
Steam updates during the day, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, from what I hear, that's kind of up to the game company too. They can go in and put in the code to release it at a certain time, or just have it for the default Steam update. Because I remember the whole MKX fiasco on PC. Oh, so bad. It's like, hey, well, why am I not downloading the game yet? Why am I not downloading the game yet? Okay, I'm finally downloading this 80 terabyte game, and then it doesn't work.
Man.
And then they released a patch for it where you basically had to download the whole game again. It wasn't a patch. They basically released a brand new version of the game, and it still didn't work.
Mortal Kombat X will try to fix the game edition.
Yeah, I forgot about how bad that was.
Yeah.
But to their credit, it might have taken them a year or two, but they did come back and eventually fix it.
Yeah, how was the cap limit?
Cap limit. Oh, on like the trying to down.
Mortal Kombat X. I mean, that killed that.
Yes.
That like hurt my internet.
Yeah, it did, because at the time I think the cap was 300 gigs, and that thing was like a 68 gig download, and then you had to do it again. Well, that's half of my damn month in one day.
Yeah, exactly.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that had a problem there. Like I had a strike.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I forgot all about that. that was big. Yeah. So okay, one more question.
What's the last question? I don't even remember what it was.
Are you getting Blaze Blue cross tag, and are you getting it for
Oh,
which system?
oh
You're
yeah,
getting it
yeah, yeah,
for
PC.
PS, yeah, for PC. I mean, yeah. Obviously, I'm getting it for PS4, or excuse me, Lag Station 4, because that's what we be doing events for. So
Yeah,
there you go.
that's probably where most of the people are gonna be playing too.
Yeah, I presume so. It's cool
Yeah,
that it's going to be
and
on Switch. Yeah, but can we talk about that real quick? How there's like some pretty
yeah,
cool
go ahead.
fighting games coming out on Switch. I
Yeah,
mean, we're getting the fighter thing. So you get all the Street Fighters up to 3 at least,
yeah.
not 4. It'd be cool if they would go ahead and put 4 on there. And there's really
That would.
nothing stopping them
Oh,
from
that.
doing it.
I think that would be cool if they had the actual arcade version of Street Fighter. So just to see how it was like. I mean,
Hmm.
I kind of can already play the actual arcade version on PC now
Right.
because they're leaked out there.
Hmm.
But I still think it'd be nice for people to see how it's like because there's like some menus like the high score screen and stuff that weren't used on the console version.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Yeah. What they did get is pretty neat, but yeah, for folks that want Street Fighter 4, they're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's getting that. Cross tag battle. Uh, K KOF. Well, Queen of Fighters. What is that game called? Is it Queen of Fighters? Tag Team
It's like it's,
Frenzy?
it's like Idol something. I don't know what it is.
I know it's like Tag Team Frenzy or something like that. But it's almost as if the Switch is the lead console on that game. Which, of course, you know what that just means.
It's an
they handed them
SNK
a.
Heroines Tag Team Frenzy.
What is it?
SNK Heroines.
Oh, that's right.
Tag
SNK
Team
Heroines.
Frenzy.
Yeah, that's it. Tag Team Frenzy. Yeah, yeah. So
Is it heroines or heroines?
her,
Isn't heroines like a drug?
I think it's pronounced the same way, but you just kind of expect it to know that you're not talking about the drug. It's a context thing, man. Anyway, it's getting that. Have you seen this? What's it called? Blade Strangers.
That sounds familiar, but
It's like
I
a
haven't.
game with a bunch of it's a fighting game with a bunch of characters from
Isn't that the one with Isaac in it?
yeah,
That
yeah.
on the Vibes?
Yeah, they only just announced all the was it Isaac and Shovel Knight. I'd actually seen the game a few months ago when it was just the not Irem. What's the name of the company? Like the girl from Code of Princess and all that stuff in it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, that's cool. I like that game. And she's in a fighting game now. So I've been keeping my eye on it. And then just recently they announced, what was it, Isaac from The Binding of Isaac, Shovel Knight, who actually looks really cool in that game. And somebody else. There was 3 characters they just announced. Isaac, Shovel Knight, and I forgot. I forgot now. But I mean, it looks pretty cool, and that's another game that's going to be on the Switch. And I think it'll do quite well on the Switch on the Switch too. Have a fighting game like that because it looks like it's going to be relatively simple control wise. Having it on the go and everything. I think it's cool that the Switch is actually getting fighting games. It'll be awesome if it gets Street Fighter 6 one day, but it's probably not going to happen. But I just like the fact that companies are actually putting stuff on the Switch as a whole. I mean, they kind of have to. The thing is selling like hotcakes. It's outselling the PS4, not obviously in total amounts, but in the same span of time, it's outselling the PS4.
Right.
So like these companies who were kind of sitting back, kind of had their backs turned on the Switch, like, oh, it's just a new Wii, and then they turn around to see how many sales it is. Now they're all trying to scramble and put games on the system because everybody's buying it. And I'm just happy to see a lot of these fighting games coming out for it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, just want to bring that up. So anyway, last questions here for from No Calzones for Ace.
What? These are great names. Man, so creative.
After seeing how bad the Season 3 character started off in Street Fighter V, do you think Cody will suck and require a patch like Zeku did? Good question. What do you think?
I guess the best answer I could say is I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but
Because they could either just make him like a Ryu and give him really short limbs, or they can just make him, I don't know, weapon based or something because he has no cuffs, right?
yeah, he has no cuffs anymore. He's apparently now the mayor. So I wonder if that's going to change the way he fights. I don't know if he's still going to have the knife. Um, will he fight with a little more honor, or is he actually going to be worse?
I hope he fights with less honor.
Yeah. That's what I'm kind of thinking is going to happen. He'll be all prim and dressed up and everything, but even throw more sand in your eyes now, or something like that.
He seems to give off a businessy, snobby guy.
Yeah, that's the way he kind of looked in the opening of the game.
Yeah.
So, I guess the real answer is we'll see. I hope he doesn't suck. For all the fans of that character, I don't particularly care about the character myself, but I know there are a bunch of folks that do, and for their sakes, I hope he doesn't suck. And just for the sake of having somebody else cool to play against, I hope he doesn't suck.
You're speaking from the Honda's player point of view.
Well, no, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, Vanilla Honda sucked. In Street Fighter 4, at least. Then Super Honda came and got Mike Ross 4th place.
Yeah. And then they were like, okay, well, yep, he's too good. Too good.
Yep.
And then AE came out and he was god awful. And then they fixed him in Ultra. Ultra was a good compromise to what they did to him in AE.
Yeah, it was weird because he made some like weird, surprising results in Ultra. Like there would be some events he would get top 8 or top 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He would definitely get top 8 in some, but it's just really random.
Yeah, it depends. Like going back to 3.5 in Street Fighter 5, I can't believe that they nerfed the hell out of Jury. They nerfed Jury because one person in the world was good with her.
But the weird thing is he didn't win fully with just Jury.
I know.
He switched.
But the fact that he won was enough for them to go, nope, Jury's too good. And kind of everybody else, including me, is kind of looking at them like, one guy in the world, one guy used her and was good with her. And it wasn't even because she was good, it's because he's good. And you nerf her?
Yeah, he probably should have just used the character use Yuri early on from the beginning of the tournament until Grand Finals. And then Grand Finals comes, switch to a different character because I guess Capcom has a really
the whole 3.5
span.
The whole 3.5 patch seemed one way kind of out of nowhere, and then the choices that they made were like just odd. Like some of them are okay, I kind of understand, but some of them were like, why did you make Jury worse? Because she won Evo Japan, and now because she helped win Evo Japan, so now she's too good.
Yep.
I think everybody would disagree there, and you actually made Manat better.
Yeah,
the actual character who won Evo Japan.
To me, that's what bugged me the most was not getting buffed.
Yes.
Because he feels like an anime character in a Street Fighter game.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
How her hitboxes work for her ball?
Mm-hmm.
That's like very unorthodox and like.
Yeah, when they gave her the Soul Spark, that was pretty much like, okay, now she's good. To me, that made her a complete character because once you throw the orb out and you sneak in under and do something, but now you do something else with that orb, and that just added a whole new part to her game. That just like, yeah, she's like the zone character now.
Yeah. See, she doesn't really feel like a. It sounds weird when you say he doesn't feel like a Street Fighter character because it's kind of hard to find a Street Fighter character. But
yeah, But I understand what
let's
you're
let's
saying.
just, let's just say, like, for weapon-based attacks, like even when you look at like Rose for Street Fighter 4, for example,
Hmm.
like her stand fierce, like the robe and stuff,
Yeah.
like that robe is a hurt box. You can hit it. Same thing with people complaining about Falk in this one. Now they're saying, oh, the hurt box is really bad
Yeah.
because if she does like low strong, you can hit it, and they'll say, oh man, this is what are you thinking, Capcom?
Hmm.
Thing is, that's normal. Rolento had that issue too. He did. Well, it's not an issue. I just think that's normal. When Rolento did stand fierce, you can hit it with like Ryu's low fierce. You can do that. That's normal. Manat is one of the few exceptions. It's like not like that at all. C doesn't have a hurt box surrounding her orbs, but it makes sense because like
Because
that
it's
orb is
usually,
not on her.
yeah, it's not on her. It's separated out. Even
Yeah,
on her normal moves or fierce punch and kick, it's away.
yeah. They just feel like they feel like special move design normals.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This
I
is
mean,
which
because
is something I kind of feel I'm not really a fan of.
but it does add something different.
It is, but I
But
feel like it kind of
it
gives a
doesn't
really weird
necessarily feel
balance
like
in
Street
this game.
Fighter, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like at one point I'm okay with this because I think it's nice to have a variety, but on the other side, I just think it's like, with how things are looking with her, it's just really hard to see how she could be a bad character. Which, I mean, that's good. It's nice to have good characters, but she seems like, I don't know. To me, she's gonna feel like one of those characters where it's like if you main her, she's never gonna be bad. Kind of like how I feel like with Viper. It's like
Yeah.
if you made her, I don't think there's gonna be a point where she's ever gonna be bad because I think they finalize how she wants to be,
Hmm.
and there's always this thing where it's like if they're heavy in execution, you're usually not gonna really touch too much on the character because they know that the average user base or like online players are not going to really know how to properly use that.
Right.
So it's like that's not really a problem. So I just feel like she kind of like it's really hard to get through, at least just based on watching. And even when I like played through like character modifiers a bit on the PC, it just felt really hard to whiff on those things, but it makes sense because there's no hurt box on her
Yeah.
hits, like on the actual ball portion of it. So yeah, I don't know why they left her for this patch.
I
She didn't
was,
need it.
yeah, I was dumbfounded. Her and Cammy, because just before it came out, everybody was kind of like, man, season 3 Cammy's pretty good. And then
Yeah.
nerf, and then buff. It's like, wait, what? It's like
Good thinking.
it's like we
She
we all
deserved it.
we all just agreed that she was already pretty good, and you made her better, and then Manat. It's like you what?
Yeah.
It's like, did you not see what she just did? And you made her better?
But I think the thing you're probably like upset about the most, I probably guess, is that they nerfed Abigail for all those 2 changes.
I mean, like I said, I wasn't. I
It's
I
not fair.
understood most of the nerfs.
Yeah. Even Recede's kind of like that too, where she got nerfed and like those 2 got buffed. It's like not fair. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said,
Balancing changes.
I wasn't too upset about the Abigail nerfs or whatever. Most of the nerfs I understood. The only thing I really hated is that they took away the ability to cancel out of his duck and light
Most of
kick.
it. Yep. Mhm.
That's really the only thing. And just made me have to relearn almost every bit of offense that they had that I had to do. I'm glad they gave him his 1 frame back on his duck and light punch. That helped because taking away making his standing and ducking light punch.
Yeah.
We're down from 5 frames to 6 frames or something like that. Or was it 4 to 5? Either way, when they did that, it was rough. It was rough, and I was happy they put it back in. I think that came with the Falk update, was it? Where they gave him his frame back, at least on his duck and light punch. They gave him his 1 frame back, so that helped.
Yeah, probably.
Because at
And
that point, it's just like he's too slow and he never wins. It's like somebody's right up next to him. He's never going to win. He's never even going to have a chance to interrupt somebody's offense or do anything really because everything was just too slow. I know that's the idea of him, which I always actually tell folks when they have a hard time against me is like, no, you actually want to get up in Abigail's face and stay there. He can't really do anything about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because things like moves that are put you to like -1 or -2, it's like really hard on Abigail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, like previously, like I guess in the old season 3, with like recedes like jab.
Oh God.
Jab.
Yeah.
What is it? Not tornado. Tornado's a projectile.
Spinner.
I'll
Spinning
call it
mixer.
spinner.
Yeah.
Spinning mixer, I think, is the medium. Oh wait, the moves are all called spinning mixer. Just jab, medium, heavy, just different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, jab, spinning mixer. Like, if you're like, if it catches at like a last active frame to be -1, like what can Abigail do? Nothing.
Nothing.
Other than super. He can kind of loop it if he wanted to.
Yes. Yes, which is why I always wonder why Sam wants to play against me. I think he just wants to feel better and win. So
gotta handle our stress somehow.
Yeah, I guess so. So, well, that's it for the questions there. So,
yeah.
I guess with that we'll call it a month.
Yep. A month of Baja Blast for me.
You and your freaking Baja Blast.
Yeah. Did John show you the photo?
Why does everybody go so crazy? Yeah, he showed it to me. Yeah. Why does everybody go so crazy over that stuff?
I ran through the cards, like when I was trying to get birthday cards.
Yeah.
And I said, drop the cards and get the
Yeah, he told me that. Baja Blast. Oh my God. I don't even care for Baja Blast that much. I don't see what the big deal is. I like the Code Red stuff, but they don't make that anymore. Some places will have it every now and then, but either way,
Baja Blast is the best. It's one of those drinks where I can have twice a day, and I'll be like, that's good.
Yeah, well, that's Mountain Dew's usually too sweet for me now, so my taste buds have changed. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this month's Mobile Bear Fightcast. We'll see you again next month. Probably around June 8th, which will be that'll be the week before E3. Yeah, week before E3, a couple of weeks before Solstice Showdown.
Yeah. Maybe it'd be something with like the rumored Capcom games as they coming out.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about that more. I will actually by the 8th, everything will have leaked. So we'll probably just talk about everything that everybody's going to show at E3 or something like that.
Imagine that Olsen Marvel vs. Capcom estimate would have happened.
Oh God, I'm hoping. I'm still hoping against hope that Capcom's gonna come out and be like, oh, and one more thing, and it'll be Ultimate MVCI or something like that. Because damn it, I still enjoy that game. I still think it's fun, and I still think it can be fixed. Especially now, it's so easy. So easy. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that down the line. Hopefully by then we'll have done another casuals night too. Like I said, I want to try to do that at least once a month. We'll see about the first Friday of every month or whatever. But it's basically whenever I can actually get off of work in time to get up there, so we can do it. So, all right. Thanks for coming on with me.
Anytime.
Thanks everybody
Glad to have you around.
Thanks for everybody who's watching on Twitch Live, and thanks for everybody who's going to watch it the archives on Twitch and YouTube. And we will see you guys next month.
Demon King has a message.
Does he? My Rasheen will kick your ass still. That's true. I completely agree. I didn't say it was bad. I just don't understand why you want to play me. Because I'm not good. Anyway, we'll see everybody next month. Be sure to be in the group. whenever we're doing like events and everything, keep up with it and everything. And see everybody next month.
Yep. Follow Nolan at twitch.tv/NBAFC if you haven't done it already.
Yeah. If you want to see stuff on Twitch, because we'll actually be streaming more. I want to try to stream stuff from home a little more too, whenever I have time. We'll see if that happens. I got everything hooked up. There's no reason I can't. Might even do some Blaze Blue tomorrow or something. I doubt it, but I might. We'll see.
I would like to do in-house sessions too, like, I don't know, like online sessions or something. But I'd probably hate myself for playing if I were to play Street Fighter 5 online.
Oh, jeez.
Probably beg you to take my place. I don't want to play this game anymore online. I'd rather play offline.
Just have fun, man. Just have fun. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Later.
Laters, everybody.
All right.